Welcome to the Wise Mind Happy Hour. I'm Kelly.
And I'm John. Welcome.
Welcome. And we have a guest here today that we're going to, for the first time ever, we're going to bring into the intro. It's my blood relative and cousin, Joe KILGALLON. Welcome.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We're so
great.
excited to have you. You have your very own podcast, so you're a pro. I think you're the first podcaster to be on our podcast.
Oh, wow. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's great.
exciting.
I'm excited to be here. Good
How
to see
long-
Josh again.
How long have you been podcasting?
Oh, jeez. Since 2012.
Whoa.
That's
I'm
wild.
clearly not very good at it because I don't have like a big following from it or anything. Although I've got a small little group of people, and
you
that's
have
all I
following.
need.
That's great.
You know?
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's a very fun medium.
Yeah.
Because, it's intimate. You're right in someone's ear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I like podcasts like what you two are doing where it's like, let's recap our weekend, then get into it a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's what
fun.
we're doing. So, okay, maybe I'll let you two start it off. John,
Mhm.
how was your weekend?
It was great. I loved it. No, you know what I did? I went thrifting this weekend. I
Love
took the boys.
thrifting.
I took the boys thrifting.
Oh my God, tell us everything.
It was great. So Sarah went to the No Kings rally downtown.
Nice.
So I had time with the
and
boys.
you were like, not for me.
You know what? It's gonna be crowded.
Grand
Lot of
Park on a Saturday.
A lot of people. Not really for me.
Yeah.
No, Wes had gone to a rally earlier and it was great. He really liked it. And then he was like, I don't know if I really want to go to this one. I was like, that's fair. So I was with the boys and I was like, let's just go thrifting.
Yeah.
And so we went. So we went to two places. One was on Clark. It's Mount Sinai, which is like right between like Wellington and Diversey.
Sometimes those like hospital ones are the best ones.
It's got tons of furniture in it.
Yeah.
That's like one for furniture, not clothing,
Okay.
for sure. And it was great. The book section, Wes got like 5 books. They were all every book was $2.
Oh, love it.
And
Any like good titles?
he was like floored. There was a whole stack. He's into this Diary of a Wimpy Kid series.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like a whole stack of them there.
Love it.
So that was a big find. And then Shane found this. There's just like toys everywhere. Like there's no organization.
Right.
There's just like toys everywhere. And he found this Power Ranger sword. And it was $2, of course. And I was like, sure,
everything.
we'll get that for you. And we got in the car and he's like, I've been waiting my whole life to get this.
Oh,
And I was like, really? Have you? And he was like, yeah.
$2 sword from the
Really?
thrift store?
So he was like beyond. So we went there and then we went to, in Roscoe to the Discount Village, which is right there.
That's
on
pretty good.
Roscoe. And it's
I've
a
been there
good,
a few
that one
times.
for clothing. I would
Yes.
highly recommend for clothing.
Yes.
So Shane got a bunch of like almost like soccer jerseys, but they're like from used leagues all over the place. So it's really
Yeah.
funny. But they did have some, Cleveland Brown jerseys and no jersey you're looking for,
Okay.
but
For sure.
it was
Yeah,
it was
second
fun.
tier.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And they have a downstairs there which has toys and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, it was a great experience. And Wes couldn't get over just like the amount of money for, the amount of stuff you got, like that ratio. He was like,
Yeah.
wait, we only spent that much for and I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, it's great. So Shane ended up getting shirts and some clothing. So it was a nice way to spend the afternoon. And then we got lunch at Potbelly's. It was fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it wasn't that nice of a day. So it was like something fun to do.
Yeah.
And also just like, you don't have to buy everything new. I
Yeah.
feel like
No.
you gotta like, it's hard to teach, especially with, and I don't know, you're a parent as well, but like teaching your kids, like, don't just order off Amazon
Yeah,
every single day because
overconsumption.
you'll just like get something new in the mail in 2 days or whatever. It was
Totally.
like, I think just even shopping in general,
Yeah.
actually going to a store, my kids have a kind of a low threshold and patience for that because a lot of stuff we just get delivered.
Right.
So,
Wow.
but also just the value in like used stuff.
It's so interesting. Like, do you shop vintage?
I love thrift shopping. When I go
Yeah.
on the road, I will go to the local Goodwill or whatever I could find.
Yeah.
My son Matthew, who's 8, I got him this sweatshirt. He loves Reese's peanut butter cups,
Oh.
and I found a Reese's peanut butter cup sweatshirt.
Oh my God,
It's
I
orange.
love
It's got
it.
the it's official and all that, and he wears it all the time. Loves
Aw.
it. It's
That's so cool.
You could find treasures,
Yeah.
things you wouldn't expect to find. I got a Bears shirt. Have you been to the new Goodwill on Addison near Kimball?
I haven't. That's
pretty
our
good.
next stop, though.
That's pretty good. And you're from Milwaukee.
I am.
So someone who was a Milwaukee sports person,
They dumped.
a lot. Because I texted a couple friends because I was there about a week ago, and there was a William Contreras bobblehead.
Nice.
The catcher for
Yeah.
who his brother played for the Cubs.
For sure.
And there were
Totally.
like Milwaukee Bucks t-shirts. There was like
Love
all
it.
sorts of stuff where I was like, man, if I was a Bucks
Gotta
fan,
take the boys.
I know. I have
clean
to.
up. It's new, so it's very clean,
know.
and the staff's nice.
The best.
But I found a Chicago Bears shirt where it's Mike Ditka riding a deep dish pizza. It's ridiculous.
That's great.
And Chris Farley, super fan on. It's this wild design, but
It's
it
like
looks
someone
really
not
cool.
from Chicago made it.
Yeah,
But you gotta love it.
Someone, graphic designer who thought I could make a bear shirt, and
Yeah.
then just threw all the stereotypes onto
Totally.
one shirt.
Yeah.
But Kurt Cobain got me into it. Not personally, I don't know him.
Really?
Name dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, watching YouTube clips of him, like, must have been like 20 years ago, when YouTube was first big. And he talked about how, now that I'm rich, I could go buy a store, but that's not fun. I kind of miss being poor. It was nice to go into a thrift store and then you found a certain thing and then you'd put things together and that pair of jeans that fit just right. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. And the books, I'm a big, I'll buy a new book here or there, but for the most part, I got into the Jack Reacher books.
Yeah.
I'll go there, buy them for $1. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
Why not?
Love it.
And so sometimes you get some good book selections in there. I was surprised. Like I had never read Outliers, the Malcolm Gladwell book. Got it like about a year or so ago at a Goodwill.
Yeah. Yeah, I never read that book.
Good book.
There's also just something to be said about the feeling you get when you get the find at the thrift store.
Oh,
like that
God.
Reese's sweatshirt. That must have been like you don't get that walking into Target and
No.
shopping. It's like you go to the thrift store, you don't know if you're even going to come out with anything, but when you get a find, it's so worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You just can't like get that at a chain store.
Well, I never even
Totally.
thought to get that for him. I never
Right,
would've thought
exactly.
to seek it out.
Yeah.
I was walking down the aisle, I saw it, I was like, oh,
It finds
he would
you.
love this.
Right.
Oh,
It finds
totally.
you.
It
Good
finds
call.
you.
Plus, I do like those personal like shirts sidebar, like the t-shirts, like what you're saying, like somebody maybe made that for like a class or something of like, oh yeah, this will be funny, like Dicka riding a pizza, or like just shirts that say like I had a shirt that said like my cat walks all over me and it was just like paws. It's like you're never gonna see
That's
that shirt anywhere
amazing.
except I know those are the types of t-shirts that are great at thrift stores.
God, there must have been something in the air because I have gone recently down like a rabbit hole of looking for vintage Levi's online, and I ordered a pair that Josh knows about. I love them, but of course I'm like immediately I got a little like stain on them and started freaking out about it and started to look for other pairs. And, like I went cross-eyed like thinking about this, and when we were like waiting for, because we went away this weekend, like searching every time I was like had a down moment. So there must be something in the air, like vintage. We're all wanting to.
The best vintage store, because I consider that a little different than thrift, because some vintage stores can be a little bit more expensive, although their prices are great. I'm blanking on the name, but it's at the corner of Roscoe and Halstead, right at the corner. They've got but it's 2 floors too. What is the name of that? I'll look it up later. But
Roscoe?
Wait,
it's
Roscoe and
so
Halstead.
good.
Oh wait, it's not Ragstock.
No,
that's
it's
on
not
Belmont.
Ragstock.
That's in Belmont. Wait,
Yeah, this is right at the
Roscoe?
corner of across the street from Roscoe's, which is like a famous.
If you're listening in the Philippines, this is a little.
Yes, it's gonna be a little weird for you.
Chicago.
It's a fun bar that has late night food, so people like it a lot.
Shangri-La Vintage.
Oh, Shangri-La, that is
No, that's not the one.
I've never been in there.
I've heard
I've
good things
always
about that,
wanted
though.
to go.
Yeah,
though.
looks very like swinging 70s.
Yeah. Are you thinking of the Village Discount? Is that what you're thinking?
Beatniks.
Oh,
Beatniks.
That's what it's called. It's
Beatniks.
called Beatniks.
Wait,
Right at the corner of Roscoe and
Beatniks.
Halstead.
I can't
thought
picture
was
that.
a bar.
With an X at the end.
Yep.
Oh my god!
Right
I have
at
to
the corner.
Try it. Wow. Oh god, I gotta go in there.
They've got multiple floors and they've got some really cool things.
Wow.
And they've got weird random stuff. I got a friend who's a big fan of The Rock. And and someone did a cool Photoshop of The Rock, but he's got like really big breasts, like female breasts.
I love it.
And it's a cool shirt.
That's
and I
funny.
was like, I got to get it for him. And it didn't fit him, but I was like, whatever, thought that counts. But yeah, they got cool things like that there.
Nice. Okay. I love it. Cool. Well, what else did you do this week? Anything else? Just that?
Sunday was, what did we do? We hung out with some friends. Really struggled through the Packer game. That was a nail biter. They ended up winning, which was
they
fine.
won against.
Who did they play?
Yeah, who'd they play?
They played the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh my God, Jerry Maguire. Wasn't that the team he was on in that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't on it.
Yeah.
But he
Keep forgetting
one of
he's
his
a
players.
pitcher.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Rod Tidwell, for sure, was on it, receiver. But yeah, so we went over to our friend's house to watch the game, and it was really funny because my oldest son was like pacing the floor like the whole time, just
he's
like
really
wearing.
into it?
Oh yeah, very much
Wow.
into it. And after the Brewers just completely got annihilated by the Dodgers. They didn't even win a game. He's been like heightened for a win, so it was good to get a win. And then Shane had a bunch of play dates that Sarah was very busy. Boys.
Yeah, wow.
I know.
Yeah, your kids have like a popping off social calendar.
It's great for them.
Yeah, for them.
It's just, I'm just taxiing them around everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How
it was
about-
fun.
How about your kids? Do they have a ton of shit going on?
Yeah. Matthew had to get his appendix out on Saturday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was in the hospital all weekend. So that sucked.
no.
Yeah, he started complaining about belly aches on Thursday. Like, I picked him up from school Thursday. It was like, my tummy hurts and all that. Because it's weird. Like, Dylan is in first grade, Matthew's in third grade, but first grade gets out like 5 minutes. Kindergarten, first grade gets out 5 minutes before the rest of the school.
Oh.
And which I guess is a new common
It's like
thing. Kind of
run,
makes sense.
so they won't get bullied.
Yeah. Maybe. But they're running around the playground, stuff like that. And Matthew comes up to me going, can we just get Dylan and go? My tummy hurts. I'm like, oh, yeah, all right, let's go. Just when we get home, lay down. And then he didn't sleep throughout the night. And so then, like, went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, go to the ER.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so then we just.
How did he know ER?
Because I guess some of the testing.
Okay. He did test.
Like when your white blood cell counts, I know so little about
something about
stuff.
that.
When they're really high, that means your body's usually fighting infection.
Got it.
Yeah. And so then they ran tests, and they were like, wow, they're even higher. And
Okay.
then they did an MRI and all that stuff. And then the surgeons were like, yeah, let's just take it out.
Take it out.
Luckily, we caught it like early on. It wasn't like about to burst.
Right.
Which is
I've
terrifying.
heard that's painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they ended up doing the surgery early Saturday, like Saturday morning. And then we got out of there like Saturday evening. And then just been relaxing the last few days.
Wow.
So that's all I could really do
Nice.
for a while. No gym or recess for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
No recess. Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
But yeah, that was the weekend.
Sit inside and from the window,
That's so
watch the other
scary.
kids. Yeah,
So
that is scary.
scary.
I'm sorry. My college roommate during our like senior week at Wash, she was, like any school, like a week of just like drinking pretty much and like doing different activities. And I swear she willed herself an appendicitis, like appendectomy or whatever, because there was this guy, and I remember it was like 2 days before, she was like, did you hear about Nevin? This guy Nevin we went to college with. She's like, he had appendicitis, like maybe because we were like drinking, it can sometimes irritate it, whatever. She's like, isn't that crazy? I was like, that's so crazy. And then the next morning, I was like, oh, I really don't feel good, like just regular hungover. And she was like, yeah. She's like, does it really hurt on your side? And I was like, no. I was like, does yours hurt? She's like, yeah. And like when I stand up, it really hurts. And I was like, oh, weird. I wonder what that is. And then it was like getting worse and worse. And her parents are doctors, so she called them. And they were like, you probably have appendicitis. And she was like, no way. She's like, I can't have just thought about another person having one and then suddenly have one. Sure enough, she had one.
Wow.
She had to get it taken out. It was crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's like, it's all fun and games. It's senior week, and then you're in the ER.
Because
But yeah.
my son Dylan was trying to say, my tummy hurts. Maybe I have one too. And I'm like, they're not contagious.
Totally.
Nice try. You just want to
Except
get out
for
of school.
Nevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Except for your
that's for
phone.
real, though. Once you see somebody have something,
You
you're
totally
like,
think you do.
I definitely have that.
Actually, what's so funny is we went to a wedding. Josh and I went to a wedding this weekend. I was going to talk about this. And that was a joke in the vows. My friend Jessie said that her husband, every time she's sick, he's like, yeah, I think I feel pretty sick too. And she's like, it's so annoying. Every time I can't just have my illness, he has to be like, yeah, actually, my throat's kind of scratchy.
I can't be taken care of.
Totally.
You have to be sick with me.
We have to together be. But yeah, so we went, Josh and I went, my friend Jessie, who maybe I don't know if you guys met. Did you meet at my wedding? You were at her table.
I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah, you met Jessie.
Right. I
You
was
can't
at there. I
miss
was like, wait,
Jessie.
this
She's
isn't
got a
another
great personality.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if you met her, but she got married in Carmel, California, which is like this beautiful. You lived in California? Did you ever go to Carmel?
No.
My God, it's where Clint Eastwood lives.
I heard it's really nice.
Oh, it's so great. And we went around to like Carmel by the sea, which is like the little quaint part of it. She got married in Carmel Valley, which is like a little bit outside of there. But it was great. It was so fun, right, Josh?
So fun.
I'm like, right, Josh? It
Yeah.
was so fun.
How long?
I had fun.
How long were you out there?
We were there. We got in Thursday night. So it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we were supposed to go with my two friends. Like when I was in grad school, there was like 4 of us that were like the 4. Me, Kathleen, Megan, and Jesse. Jesse got married, and Kathleen, Megan, and I and Josh were all supposed to stay in an Airbnb. And then Kathleen got sick, sadly. So basically you were replaced this weekend by our friend Megan in our alternate throuple.
What?
We're in a few thruples.
We're in a couple of thruples.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but it was really fun. Josh had not really spent a lot of time with Megan yet. And she's so fun. Shout out to Megan.
Shout out Megan.
Shout out Jesse. Shout out Justin and little Oscar, their son, whose face I have tattooed on my arm.
So wait a second. You came back Sunday?
Yeah.
You know my next question. Did you check a bag?
Yes. We did check a bag, and they also forced Josh to check a bag. Or did they?
I hate when you get forced.
I hate the forced
I was
check.
I volunteered pretty aggressively.
Oh, yeah. But I kind of made you. I was like,
Yeah.
they're saying check all the roller rags.
There were a lot of microaggressions.
Yeah. And then you went up to the counter, and the woman's like, you don't need to check this.
The second time.
Yeah. Right.
I was like in a long line, and she's like, yep, check it, check it, check it. And I went up, she's like, please just bring it on the plane.
I guess for a wedding, you're having multiple outfits. I thought
Well,
maybe
yes.
with that amount of time.
There were 2 events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah.
like, you know, it's like we're in that transitional time where you're like, because my friends, it was colder there than it is here because it's like Central Coast. So she did text me like the week before. She's like, I'm kind of having nightmares that like everyone's going to be too cold at my wedding and it's going to be terrible. And I was like, I had a bunch of nightmares about our wedding. Like everyone's going to hate this or I'm going to look terrible in my dress or whatever. But which I talked about endlessly on the podcast. But she's like, we recommend wearing layers. And when we went Friday, I had like a sleeveless, or did I? No, I guess I had a sweater. But during the day at the wedding, sleeveless dress, like a summer dress.
Yeah, it was warm.
And then like a coat by the end of it, which is so California or so like San Francisco, mid-coast. Like it's like boiling hot in the day and then you're frozen at night. But it was actually lovely. Like when we had the layers and everybody was smart and did, it was great. So, but we had to bring coats, we had to bring boots. I also brought like non-fall stuff. Like there was no way I was getting away with.
You're checking then.
LA in the winter
Yeah.
was like that though. I remember the first time I ever visited LA, I crashed. A friend of mine had like a 3-bedroom thing, and one of his roommates was out of town, so I got to crash in his room. And the window was open. I'm thinking, no big deal. I go to sleep. I wake up freezing.
Yeah.
Like I thought there was something wrong with me. It didn't make sense because I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
Because it was like 75 and nice, and then it drops down to like 40.
Yeah.
You know, because it's the desert. It's the desert. People forget
Totally.
that like LA is the desert as well. We don't think of it that way, but yeah, and Central Coast gets that wind.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was breezy, but it was so nice. I was saying to Josh, like, I mean, I don't think this is true. I know this isn't true of all of California, but like this area of California is so just like chic. Like you use a pumpkin patch and it's so like tastefully done. You know, there's nothing like everything, every meal we had, places that had like no business having good food. Like late night where Josh and I were like post-wedding because the events were pretty early. So we got food afterward. I mean, you know, like a random bar. The best pizza, like Spaccanapoli level pizza. And we were like, okay, this is crazy. And basically like the soup even was like so good. The latte, we were at like a glorified diner and they brought me an iced latte and I was cross-eyed. It was so good. I was like, this is California. Like the baseline is higher. Like Chicago has such great like fine dining and such great like lowbrow dining. Yeah. But kind of your average middle of the road place is like fine. But in California, I think like all those places are like good. And as you know, a little bit healthier.
Yes.
From living there. I mean, really like you like can't turn a corner without like a kind of healthy place.
Yeah, I had some bar food
nice.
last night. after a show I did, and there was not one healthy option on the menu. Where LA bars will at least they'll have your typical wings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then they'll have a couple healthy options.
Yeah.
Which
Like
is
a
nice.
couple of salads. And they're like, we look at the ingredients, you're like, okay.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. So of course, like I was, as we always do with trips, we talked about this on the pod, like, you dream of living there, like, right? And you're there for 3 days. You're like, I think maybe I'll live here. And actually someone said to us, they were like asking Josh about being documentarian and all that stuff. And he's like, so you used to live in California and now you live in Chicago. He's like, what? Why? Like he was
That's
so
so funny.
confused. He's like, why would you? It must be great there. Why would you leave
ever?
California?
But then I told him how great the dating scene was in Chicago, and he was about ready to leave his wife.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I gotta check this out. She looks at him. She goes, "You're married."
But I think that's also a just coastal bias.
Yeah,
in
totally.
general, where there's nothing in between LA and New York. It's
Right.
just barren wasteland.
Yeah.
Like my wife is from
Flyover.
Philadelphia, and when she came here for graduate school, her grandparents would like send her articles from the New York Times as if like there weren't like news publications here, and you wouldn't guess what's happening in the world, Sarah,
Right.
because now you're
And
in
you also don't
Chicago.
have access to the New York Times.
And it's like,
Yeah.
why are you sending me physical news clippings
That is
from
so
the New
bizarre
York
to me. Like,
Times, where it's like
Yeah.
you don't when you're on that coast and you kind of are laser focused on it. It's like, why would anybody live anywhere
right
other than
right.
here? And-
Everything else is
yeah,
nothing.
it's like
you're not
nothing.
alone though. I know a lot of people who moved from California to Chicago. And
Oh, really?
Grew up in California.
It's a
Totally.
common migration.
Yeah, my friend. Shout out to my friend Brittany. If you want to get your hair done, she rents a chair at this pretty nice place on Belmont and like near Ashland. I met her in LA. She was at a show, and I had a joke about how bad my current haircut was because I had a really bad haircut like that day. And she came up to me and she's like, "Your haircut sucks." And she's like, "No, I'm a stylist, but I would like to cut your hair to fix this." And she was nice enough to fix it. Yeah. And then I didn't see her again until because she moved out of LA to Florida. And then she hit me up randomly like a little over a year ago saying, "Hey, I like to travel. I'm thinking about coming to Chicago this weekend. Are you around?" I'm like, "Yeah." She came to a show. I met her. She hung out with some of my friends. And then she was in Chicago for 2 days. And she's like, "I love that city so much. I think I'm going to move there." And I go, "Get out of here."
There you go.
3 months later, she moved here and she's been over here for over a year now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
And she was
People
from
do. I mean, I love Chicago. and
Sacramento.
So many things about it I love.
Yeah.
But it is funny. Like it was almost like we were saying we lived in like Kansas or something, where he was like, "Why would you leave?" It was like genuine concern for us, which was
Well, the
cute.
Philadelphia grandparents are a little shocking to me. Well, that's a little bit of an East Coast bias still. But like
Yeah.
Chicago's a bigger city than Philly. So
True.
Yeah.
the nerve.
Yes. The nerve. I know.
I don't think that was too wise.
It's
of
definitely
them
not
to-
wise.
Definitely not
Um,
wise to prefer.
And a total grandparent thing to send you clippings.
Right.
Yeah.
Physical
Totally.
clippings.
I love it.
Don't look at the New York Times online at that article.
Right.
We'll send you the clippings of it.
Yeah. God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you do get that in New York too, where it's like, how could you live not here?
Right.
Where it's like, well, some people
I know
live
New
in
Yorkers who
places.
think New York's the only city in America.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they go, America's one city. It's New York. Everything else
Right.
is a suburb. That's what they're wild.
Yeah.
They're kind of,
I guess it is so intensely a city, but I don't know if that always makes it better. Sometimes
I love New York too. I always have never had a bad time there.
Yeah.
But there are times where I think about my New York friends and the way they talk, and I'm like, relax. Just because you live here doesn't make it. You didn't achieve anything.
Right.
Well, you
Right.
can afford rent. I guess that's wild. But like,
Right.
still,
Yeah, but when we were there last, shout out to Jonah Tulis, we were talking about how much we loved it, and I was like, the one tough thing would be the rent. And I love the way Jonah just said, he was like, you know what, you figure it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a great attitude.
Yeah,
He's
he just
like,
told me that today about how I didn't get that job.
Yeah.
It's like, you figure it out.
Yeah.
Josh, you'll figure this out.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Josh was like on the hook for a job while we were on this trip.
They wanted me to live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Full circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that mostly hasn't been an issue.
Yeah. But
People
yeah,
are usually thrilled that I live in Chicago.
Josh was like having to like call this guy while we're like in transit from San Francisco to Carmel, and then eventually was like,
Yeah.
we went with someone else.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, so annoying.
When you visited me in LA, was that your first time in LA?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think that was my very first time. That was such a fun trip.
It was a great trip.
I loved it. Yeah.
Although I remember, I don't know, I'm going to embarrass you if I bring this up.
What?
You had almost an emergency. Do you remember that?
My eye.
Was it your eye? I thought you had to go to the bathroom really bad and we had to find a bathroom ASAP.
You did.
Was that me?
You were literally at the Laugh Factory about to go on stage,
Oh,
and you
that's
kept talking
right.
about your stomach hurting, and I was starting to get my stomach was starting to hurt thinking about you having to be on stage feeling that.
Mm.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember it like it was yesterday, but then
You
I
did
woke
have an
up and
eye
my
thing.
eye was swollen.
Yeah, what happened with your
we
eye?
were ailing left and right. I would
had the
sometimes
stomach, you had
get
the
this where
eye.
my eye
Okay.
would swell.
Oh, I got you.
I learned later it was like an autoimmune symptom, but it would swell, so it was like looked crazy. So I wore sunglasses inside, and then I looked incredibly pretentious.
Well, very LA though.
Totally.
Very LA.
Yeah, but that was such a fun trip. Yeah, that was my first time there, and we went all around. We went to Venice.
That's right. Yeah, I remember we went to Venice.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I love LA. I mean, I don't know what it would be like to live there, but I like it.
It had its perks,
Yeah.
you know. Nice weather all the time.
weather's really nice.
If you like Mexican food, it's a great spot to
Yeah.
be.
Mhm.
If you like donuts, shockingly, it's a big donut
Yeah.
town, which is
Mm.
wild.
Oh,
to me.
we had the best bagels of our life at Courage Bagel, which I think started after you left.
Yeah.
So good. We waited like an hour and a half to get them, but
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love California. It was so nice to go. And I went to Palm Springs a couple weeks ago for a bachelorette. So we've had a nice little dose of California. You went to Palm Springs too in the summer.
Oh yeah. We covered that on the pod
Yeah.
aggressively. Yeah, I went for a film festival for a little homelessness documentary that I edited last year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and touring that around the film festival.
Palm Springs is
circuit.
nice.
Yeah.
I
It's,
was there for a weekend once.
Yeah. It's nice, but we live here.
we
love
live
it
here. You get a date shake?
Yeah. Did you have a date shake?
I did not.
No one gets it. I mean, it's like I want to meet someone who's had one other than like a Californian. Because like that's their famous thing.
A date shake in Palm
a
Springs?
milkshake with like ground up dates in it.
Oh, wow.
John thinks it sounds gross. Do you like dates?
I haven't had enough to have an opinion.
Okay.
Someone was asking me about cilantro the other day, and I was like, yeah, if the taco comes with it on there, I'm not going to tell them to take it off. But I
Okay.
don't ever go out of my way to get it. You know,
Yeah,
like,
people have
But-
strong takes
But then
on
you
cilantro.
probably
They
don't
do.
have the soap gene. If it's on your taco and you don't mind,
people say it tastes like soap, cilantro.
genetically for some people it tastes like that.
That's a genetic thing, huh?
That's what
That could
they
be.
say.
Yeah.
Now, I think sometimes it tastes like soap and sometimes for me it doesn't. And my brother told me that's not a real thing, but I do think it is. Because I once had,
Yeah.
here's what, I had a huge dose of it. I accidentally at Whole Foods bought cilantro
Instead of parsley?
pesto.
Oh.
So it was like, a big scoop of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know the pesto was made with cilantro. I thought it was just regular pesto. And it was like I took a bite of it, I remember, and I was like, someone like dropped soap in this. Like it
Wow.
truly tasted like a mistake. Kind of like if you have that St. Louis cheese that's really disgusting. To me, it's like this tastes as though it has gone bad. Or I remember I had a lasagna with it and I was like, I think they baked like tinfoil into this accidentally. Like I truly was like, this can't be right.
Yeah.
No one would eat this. No one would make this. But yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, most people you either have that strong reaction or you don't.
Yeah.
And,
And
it's
you
not-
love cilantro.
Yeah. I don't think it tastes like soap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because people who
I
don't
don't either. Yeah.
people who don't like it can even tell if there's a trace amount.
Yeah.
Like I know for a fact that Sarah can tell if there's like a very small amount. I'd be like, oh, is there cilantro in like I don't.
You wouldn't know.
She can pick it up because
Yeah.
it's so off to her.
Yeah.
That
totally.
soap, whatever
Some
that
people
is.
are like that with onions too. Which I love.
I'm not.
I love an onion.
Soap? It's a soap there too.
Well, I don't think it's soap there.
Mm.
I think it's just they don't like the taste. How could you not like an onion?
Yeah, what's wrong with them?
Spicy.
It's flavor.
I can see not like in different ways it's prepared, but
Yeah,
overall, I
raw.
like. Yeah,
Or
I like
maybe a
onions.
textural issue, but
Oh, speaking of, we went to In-N-Out when we were there. We got raw onions, double raw onions.
In-N-Out's great, but their fries are
The fries are terrible.
terrible fries.
Josh thought they were okay. We got them well done.
Yeah.
Have you had In-N-Out?
Yeah, they have like
Do you
a
like it?
secret
It's
menu
alright.
to certain
Yeah.
things. I loved In-N-Out. What I would get when when I go back and when I live there often, I would get 2 cheeseburgers instead of fries, and then get a chocolate shake. The milkshakes are great.
Nice.
We thought about a milkshake. We were like going to a wedding and we were like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I could just fit into my tux.
Oh man.
I know, it's hard, but yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, I love In-N-Out. I think the burger was exceptional and the fries are bad. I think ideal would be McDonald's fries, In-N-Out burger.
Oh, absolutely.
Heaven.
Have you ever been to Red Hat Ranch in Chicago?
No.
People
it's
love
straight down.
Yeah, there's one
We
on
gotta go.
There's
I
2.
know.
There's one in Armitage and one in Ashland.
Ashland. Yeah.
But the owners got the idea from In-N-Out Burger. It's similar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think In-N-Out uses a better bun
Is that
personally.
Barry?
But they're pretty
Barry
great.
in Ashland?
Yes,
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, yes.
It's right by, yeah. There's like a school right
gotta
there.
do
but-
it. Josh
yeah.
has never had Super Dog.
Right.
That's great
Mhm.
too.
So good.
What's the better dog?
I never get the hot dog at Red Hat Ranch.
You get the burger.
I get the burger always. I think Red Hat Ranch is one of the best
Oh.
burgers.
They always advertise the hot dog.
They have hot dogs in their logo, but I think their burger is just exceptional.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
and someone told me their fried shrimp is great, but I've never thought to get it.
I would try that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hot date.
But Super Dog
do a
is
hot date there.
probably like a top 3 hot dog for me in the city. I've never made a rankings, but it'd be up there.
Yeah. What else would be up there? To me, nothing else would be up there but Super Dog.
Super Dog is probably number 1 now that I think about it. I also like, there is this, there's a place not to, Budaki's. You ever have
Budaki's is
It's really
great.
good. Also Wolfie's on Peterson.
Oh, Wolfie's is
Wolfie's.
great.
Wolfie's is great. I like the
yeah.
hot dogs where when you bite into them, there's like
Yeah.
a snap to them
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah. Wolfie's,
Wolfie's
is
is
that
pretty
big
great.
time.
Yeah,
I think
Although
Budaki's-
Wolfie's
Budaki's
is
its own
so
thing, though.
hot.
Budaki's might be number 1 for
Budaki's
me.
is really
I
good,
love
yeah.
that place. There used to be a
Where
place
is
on
that?
Belmont, Murphy's, that closed. but
R.I.P. I love that place.
That was a great place. I used to love Murphy's.
It was
Murphy's.
like Belmont and Racine
Yeah.
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. They did like the charred style where the hot dog would split.
Ooh, like that.
Yeah, some people don't
Budaki's
like
is
a
on
char dog.
Damon and like Montrose or Wilson and Damon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We live near
Small little
Byron's,
place.
which is basically inedible. At least now it is. We
Byron's
went.
is great.
They have a picture of Obama, like it's his favorite place. We
Yeah.
couldn't even finish the meal. It was so bad.
Oh, it's inevitable? Is it that bad?
I thought it was horrendous.
I've only had it like once. I don't remember being terrible, but I thought it was overrated. You know, see, they use Chicago Red Hot instead of Vienna beef.
Okay.
So it's
Enough
different.
said.
And Super Dog's its own thing. I don't even know what Super Dog
Yeah,
uses.
they
It's
have
not
their
either, but
own
they're like their
thing.
own thing, which is why
Yeah.
people drive far for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have friends who like live in Pilsen. They'll drive up to Super Dog, which is like
So
Norwood
good.
Park, edge of the city.
Yeah.
So-
We gotta go.
We're going.
I keep saying that to you, and then I'm the one who doesn't take us.
I know. Because it's not on my list.
I
I got to put it
know.
on my list.
That's what my friend Jessie, again, shout out to Jessie. She said, she's like, you keep saying you want a date shake. And every time I say, let's go, you're like, I don't want one right now. It's like, in theory, I want one. Yeah, but we'll do it.
Yeah.
Maybe this weekend.
I'm down. Let's make plans on the pod.
Let's do it.
All
Let's,
right.
let's get over our schedules.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay, well, maybe this is our perfect time to segue
Segue.
into our topic. We basically today are going to talk about, Joe was telling us, you know, he's a comedian. We're like, we could talk about that. But one of the more interesting things he mentioned today, of the many interesting things, is that he started DBT therapy. And as John and I have backgrounds in DBT, it's a huge pillar of the pod, huge pillar of what we do.
Mhm.
We're selfishly so curious what it's like as the recipient. So tell us first, like, what made you decide to go?
Well, first, I got to acknowledge to everyone before we hit record, and I mentioned it, you two lit up.
Yeah.
You were
I mean, we
both very
exploded.
excited. So that was very fun to see. It got recommended for me. I had been in therapy, CBT, and the therapist I had for a while was all right. And then after a while, I'm like, I joked with my friends talking about humor. I'm like, do I just like him because he kind of looks like Fred Armisen? Because I feel like after a while, I'm like, I don't think I'm getting anything out of this. And then we started talking about comedy, and then it became things where he's like, have you tried reaching out? I'm like, you're not in this world. I had to kind of like get a little snappy with him during one session, because it felt like every comedian has a joke about how we always have some family member that doesn't know how the business works, where it's like, have you tried emailing Jimmy Fallon? Like, it was like, you know, I
Have
mean,
you
like, first of all, I don't
reached
want to
out
do that show
personally?
anyway, but also, so that's what a lot of our sessions turn into. I'm like,
Right.
this has
Sure.
become such a waste. I'm not getting anything out of this. But I've always had problems with emotional regulation.
Yeah.
You know, in regards to
Might run in the family.
Yeah.
Which family?
Yeah. Generational trauma. Yeah. So I had talked to my primary care doctor, and she, you know, recommended it basically.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Okay.
And then I looked up a few names, and I remember asking you for a few names.
Yeah.
But at that point, I found like right when you got back to me, I found someone that a friend recommended, and then she even was like, yeah, because she was CBT.
Yeah.
And she was fine. I was getting along with her pretty well. But then I decided to go in person too this time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like online started in 2021 because it was like the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was nice. Like I thought, like, this is great. I could put, you know, at the time I'm like, I could put my son Dylan, who was 2 at the time, down for a nap, and Matthew could play some toys, and I could get this done. But I feel like you get more of a sense of accomplishment when you go into the office.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I got out of the house, I did something.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, her couch, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm into that.
But now
couch.
the question is it comfortable, or you just become so comfortable in the space?
Whoa.
I mean, when I think about my
Never
first
thought of that.
therapist office, or my like second therapist, really, it's like it wasn't like the greatest office ever, but it was my space with her. Just food for thought. I mean, I do think it is like going in person. It becomes this like sacred little burrow.
This means nothing, but that's a great thought. I'm going to actually think about that now. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Because
Also, she might have a great couch.
she might have a great couch, but there is a calming feeling. I did realize I had 2 friends who specifically I would vent hard around them.
Yeah.
And then later I realized, it's because they created an environment where I felt like I could really go off.
Totally.
Yeah, because I had to remind my buddy too. I was like, dude, I just snap and go crazy around YouTube because I know you guys are giving me that space to do that.
Yeah.
But if I go too far, let me know, and also know don't take everything I say seriously when I'm in this mode. You know what I mean? I don't actually want to strangle the people I say I want to strangle. Good Lord, dude. You know, hyperbole, my man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a comfortable office. I actually noticed she had outlets on her ceiling, and she didn't know that. I'm like, that's kind of cool. There's an outlet on the ceiling.
Whoa.
And she looked up. She's like, I had no idea that was there.
An outlet. I wonder.
So it's like a ground level. And I remember saying, like, you could plug in something like a Halloween decoration and have it right on that window. And she's like, I do that.
Hang it
or like a
down.
hanging lamp, or it's almost like a
Yeah, a
Rorschach
hanging
blot.
lamp.
It's like,
Like a
what
lamp.
do you think of that on the ceiling?
Oh.
What does it make you feel?
What kind of therapy is that, by the way? Like the
Rorschach?
Rorschach
That would be
test.
more psychodynamic, psychoanalytic. Probably psychoanalytic.
Yeah.
Like kind
Yeah.
of old school, like Freudian depth work.
I've always wanted to do that, though, because you see the movies and TV shows.
Oh, totally. I
Yeah.
would totally do analysis. It's a little cost prohibitive.
True.
And you have to go like 5 days a week.
They must feel very frustrated when the person's like, it's an ink splotch, dude. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like-
Yeah.
And that's more like testing. So they would give it to you like
Yeah.
in a battery, like a psychological battery.
Yeah,
So
now they would do that.
They would kind of do it more like as a test, and then they would interpret the results and then like go over the results with you. But yeah, in the movies, it's kind of shown as like in real time. They're showing it to you as a projective, like, what are you going to say about it? But
And maybe Freud did that back in the day.
probably back in the
But
day
he, like,
before it was
mixed the
standard.
testing
Yeah,
with
before it was
the- yeah.
standardized or anything.
Totally.
Geez, name a therapist who still does that, huh?
I mean, I wonder.
I wonder too. We
Maybe
gotta get
for
VJ
kids.
back on.
Yeah.
He
Well,
probably knows
VJ,
some
who we had on, who's a psychiatrist, and he's psychoanalytically trained. Maybe he does it.
He probably knows.
Shout out to VJ. We can ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think though in person, for myself and my therapy, even it's just different. I get a lot more out of it when it's in person than when there's the screen. Not to say that I don't get something out of the sessions, but I do think there's a different energy to it. And I also feel like there's something, even though I don't know, I feel like I can hide, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Because the therapist is looking at you through the screen, but I almost feel like I'm not as exposed.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
I'm not,
true.
and I feel like that leads me in my own therapy to not be as vulnerable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that definitely can happen. I feel like I switched with my old therapist from in person to during the pandemic, we could only do virtual. And I remember I felt a little more like I was just talking to myself, which maybe that was a little bit the point we were in therapy because it was more depth work, more like psychodynamic, almost psychoanalytic. And yeah, I remember feeling a little more like, but then also maybe I was doing that and I wasn't like, yeah, it was easier, I feel like, to open up to like her presence when we were in the same room. And I did like driving there and back because I like organizing my thoughts there and kind of digesting.
That's a good point. Because when you're like at home, you just get right back
just
into
go back,
go back to
whatever
what
you're doing.
yeah.
You don't even like reflect on it really, maybe, or
And sometimes I'd be sobbing, so I had to like get it together on the ride home. So yeah.
I've never cried in therapy, but I'd like to. That sounds like it'd be refreshing.
Oh my God, I feel like I cry every session.
It's kind of what I talked about a little bit last week with her. Not last week, on Monday. I went in person on Monday because, my son had, normally I go on Fridays, but I was in the emergency room all day Friday. So luckily I didn't get hit with that cancellation fee.
Yeah.
That got waived. Usually
if you reschedule in the same week.
Yeah. Well, we were scheduled for Monday and then I'm still going Friday. So it's a 2 this week.
2 this week, nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I think growing up, I grew up in a, not that far from you, but different neighborhoods. I loved the neighborhood I grew up in. It was really cool. A lot of great people, diversity and all that, but it was very blue collar. So it wasn't like you showed your emotions. You know what I mean? So that's why I think anger was such a quick one to get to.
Yeah.
Also, people found me funny when I was angry. So I think I started to lean into that.
Well, I hate to say it, Joe, you are funny when you're angry.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know if I should be saying thank you to that though. So I still take it. I still take it as a point of pride. I don't know. So but then in my head, I'm like, it became the quickest reaction to everything.
Yeah.
And it's got exhausting. And then I remember one time, I can't remember what the hell I was mad about. That's another thing too. Just going to these like, rage-filled rants. I remember one time my 2 friends were like, you were cracking us up. But then my buddy Danny, who you've met a million times, Danny Cal,
shout out to Danny.
he said something. He's like, dude, you're not 26 anymore. And to be honest, it wasn't that cute back then. And I was like,
what? When a friend is kind enough
Straight
to be mean
shooter.
to you.
Yeah.
I talked about him with my therapist actually, because she was asking about like friends that like are like go-to support people.
Yeah.
And I go, he would be like number 1, number 2, or 1 or 1A.
Totally.
And we have a thing though, him and I, where I remember telling him he was in a relationship for a while. And had a breakup.
Are they not together anymore?
No, not together anymore. They were together for like 8 years. But afterwards, started going to the gym every day, started taking care of himself. I mean, this was a guy who I never saw eat a vegetable in the first 15 years I knew him.
Wow.
So, I remember telling him like, Dad, I'm really proud of you, man. You're doing great and all that kind of stuff. And then I have to throw an insult in there. And he has to do the same thing. We just have a thing. Well, I remember, I'm really proud of you. You're taking care of yourself. You're going to the gym every day. You look wonderful. You're drinking water. Come on, man.
Great job on the
You're
water.
still a little bitch though. Like, I have to throw that and he did the same with me where he's like, I'm glad you're back in therapy. You've committed to not drinking. It's really awesome. I mean, you're an ugly bastard, but like you still, all the things, we both, that's why I think I get along with him so well. We kind of grew up similar circumstances.
Yeah.
He's a couple of years older, but we both come from that era.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Okay. So tell us, how is the therapy now different than the last one?
I noticed that she listens a lot. Where I'm not saying that he didn't listen.
Write that down.
Yeah.
Listen to your clients.
Yeah, listen to the client. That sounds basic, but I felt like with the CBT, it was more of a free-flowing conversation of back and forth, where he would give his opinions or try to relate, where I feel like I'll tell her things and just be going on. And then she is listening, takes a beat, sits with it, and responds in a way that does make me think. Like even the way you were like, is it a comfortable couch or are you just comfortable? So I kind of appreciate that a little bit more. Although I really wish I didn't this is where comedy's going to come in, I guess, a little bit. I had just finished watching The Sopranos from episode 1 through the end.
Yes.
About 2 weeks before I started with her.
Yeah.
And one of the things in The
Dr.
Sopranos,
Melfi.
yes, Dr. Melfi, often she wouldn't say anything. She would just stare at him.
Yeah. She's analysis. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then my first session with her, I noticed she was doing a little bit of that. And I'm like, are you Dr. Melfiing me right now? Because I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I have to get used to it. But again, like just to give clarity to the listeners, I've had 3 sessions so far. I just started it. You know, first session was just her kind of like figuring me out a little bit.
Yeah,
I guess,
sure.
You know, but I do feel good about it from what I've read about it, from what we've done so far.
Yeah.
I am excited
Yeah.
for the direction it's going in. But yeah, I mean, it's, I could tell I like it better than the other style. Not that the
Yeah.
other style's bad. I'm sure CBT, works well for a lot of people.
Yeah, totally.
You know? Yeah, but I think I'm gonna like this better because I know I'm gonna need to learn these tools, these skills.
Yeah.
Just going forward. Just I feel like without realizing it, it's probably held me back in certain avenues of comedy and my career and things like that. Like overall, I think most of the people I've worked with and most my friends in comedy will be like, oh, Joe's a super great guy, nice guy like that. But then you get that reputation of being a hothead. And then when it starts to get to some other opportunities, people might be like, which
Yeah.
Joe were we going to get that week?
Sure.
You know? So
Yeah.
yeah, that part of it started to dawn on me over the last couple of years. But you know, it's hard. You know, you have kids. Yeah, it's hard to get into routine sometimes with children.
Yeah.
You know, my sleep sucks.
Yep.
I'm not the best with that, prioritizing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was some of the stuff we talked about too. I have to get to a, you know, talking about California's baseline for food. I got to get to a baseline of sleeping, water, eating
Yeah.
vegetables, eating healthier.
Totally.
Because
Yeah.
it's very easy to, you know, because of the late night lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like I had a show at 9:00 last night. Here's how old I'm getting. At Butch McGuire's, great bar.
Nice.
And it's a great show. It was packed.
Yeah.
The show was packed. The show was really fun. I connected with the crowd. Great time. And I remember going into it not having a lot of energy, but I've got that adrenaline rush that you get after you perform.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm starving. What's open that's healthy at that time?
Right.
Yeah. Nothing.
You know, and I had a healthy day up until that point.
Yeah.
I tried my best. I went to a friend of mine runs an open mic, so I stopped by his open mic and I got a buffalo chicken wrap. Which isn't the
Okay,
worst
hey, a
thing,
wrap.
but it was the best I
Yeah.
could do at 10:30 on a Monday.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
And sometimes that is the healthiest thing, like what's there and like some kind of nourishment.
yeah. Well, sometimes you just need something,
Totally.
you know, because otherwise I'm like, I'm not going to sleep if I'm starving.
Right.
And I knew I didn't have much to eat
Yeah.
at home. So
Yeah. Yeah, that is tough, like the late night. Well, that's actually a big thing in DBT. And we know this, like really like in therapy, you can easily go into like analyzing things and going higher order. And then it's sort of like, how much caffeine is this person having
Right.
every day if they're this anxious? You know, how much sleep are they getting? Like, it's something I can miss a lot because I love what I do and I love like going to the like depth. But sometimes you really have to like slow down and look at like what's your self-care or your seeds, your sleep, eating, exercise. Yeah.
Well, I just started a medication too, and I want this medication to work as best as possible because I was on a previous medication that wasn't doing it for me, duloxetine.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of that. And then Wellbutrin. So I was reading about how to get the best out of it. A lot of it was like cut back on all the stuff. And I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
like I drink a Celsius a day, and I love it, but it's not good for you.
You're flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's to the point where I could drink a Celsius and fall asleep 5 minutes later, which makes me
Whoa,
think
you're
the
like,
caffeine does nothing to me now.
Is Celsius, what's like Celsius compared to a coffee?
I've heard an extra large coffee is close to a Celsius.
Okay. How big is this if it was full? I'm showing Joe my coffee.
Yeah. Because Celsius is 200 milligrams.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think an extra large coffee, that would probably be close, like 180 or something.
Okay.
160.
All right. Then I'm flying pretty high.
But even
And how
Red
many
Bull,
of
Red Bull's
those are you
120.
having?
I thought Red Bull would have been close to Celsius. Red Bull's actually considered
Yeah,
considerably
not that
less.
bad, yeah.
And a Diet Coke's like 43 or
Yeah.
something.
So
It's
does not that bad caffeine.
It's really not, but the
wise.
sugar. Well,
Yeah.
Diet Coke doesn't have sugar. It's got something in it though.
Yeah. It's got like cancer in it.
I feel honestly,
Aspartame.
I
Is that what it is?
I had a while where I was like, why do I feel bloated all the time? And then I realized it's this damn Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And then I cut back on Diet Coke and I was feeling less bloated. So there's definitely, that aspartame, I think, is part of what makes you a little bit like that. The thing is, again, the caffeine does, I've had so much of it. I drink so much of it. I feel like it doesn't have an effect on me anymore, but it's almost like this security blanket.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning, I have a Celsius the same way some people have to have, a cigarette or something like that. That's what it became to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I do think that taking a look at those things is really important when doing any type of self-work to really optimize not just functionality in the therapy space, but just day-to-day functionality. And that's really hard with kids and the industry that you're in. That's got to be so tough because of I don't know anything about it, but my guess would be a lot of late night shows. And that's when the audience is coming out to see you. And that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, I've learned I was talking about this a little bit with her. I'm like, I've accepted that there's going to be some nights and some days where I'm like, I'm just not going to get a lot of sleep that day.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I have to make up for that in other ways.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to find, so I was already talking with her. I'm like, I'm going to start planning out my calendar better, looking way ahead. Where it was like even this week, I knew I'm like, okay, I've got Monday and Tuesday things to do. But I've got nothing Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to bed at like 8 o'clock on those days.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know how well this is going to work out, but I'm going to test it. Like if I could get 9 hours one day, when I get 6 the next day, will that, instead of looking at sleep by night, maybe I could look at it as a big week-long thing.
Totally.
We'll see how that works. Maybe it will help. Maybe it won't.
That's what you can do.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you can do. Have you ever struggled with like insomnia in any way?
Not, I wouldn't call it insomnia. What's how bad do you have to be for insomnia where you can't sleep like at all, right?
Well, I always think of it because to me, I think the people who most need to do like I go to bed and get up at the same time, or the people who like most will suffer if they don't do that are like insomniacs. So people who like maybe chronically can't really fall asleep or stay asleep. Do you feel like chronically that's an issue?
I don't think it's chronically.
Okay.
That's why I had to clarify because did you like the show Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I remember one time talking to you about it or knowing that you liked it. You ever see that scene where Chris Pratt it's like, what's wrong with you? He's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like life's pointless. I get no joy out of anything I love anymore. But they asked me if he was depressed. He said no, but then he went on to describe everything that is the symptom of depression, right? And not with insomnia, but I remember something like that where I was like, no, I don't. Well, how often do you have to have that for that? I'm like, oh, no, I do. Yeah.
Totally.
No, I'll have certain nights where it takes me a while to fall asleep.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And she was kind of like, if it's up to like an hour, get out of bed and do something different.
Yeah.
And reset yourself.
Yeah.
I think it was an hour or it was a half hour. I can't remember the time. I'll double check on that this Friday. But yeah, for the most part, though, I could just I'm pretty good about falling asleep.
Yeah.
But I also have bad hair. I like to watch TV and do stupid things like that just keep you up.
Yeah.
I
love that stuff. I mean, I'm frying my brain on TikTok until my head hits the pillow. It's horrendous.
Well, exactly. That's like the time where it's like finally time for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's hard to be very disciplined with it.
Yeah.
It's
especially you like, come on.
From my perspective, when like my kids are down, then it's like finally the moment has arrived where I can read or watch something and then when you look at the clock, you're like, no, I'm not going to look there again because I don't want to know how late it is. And so this is so hard.
Yeah. Totally.
Because your days are consumed with work and kids and appointments and emergencies that come up and it's just so limited. I'm curious too about or even your past experience, how therapy has maybe influenced just your comedy, if it has.
No, it definitely has.
Yeah.
Well, some of the jokes would write themselves. I remember when I first started therapy, I didn't tell anyone for like the first 6 months. I don't know if I had this stupid, Chicago Irish bullshit where it's like, let's keep that to yourself.
Right.
And Irish American for any listeners in Ireland.
Yeah.
I like to differentiate. They get so upset about that. I've told them though. I've started to go on a side tangent here, but people from Italy, all over Europe, they get mad when Americans claim their heritage and all that. And I had to remind them, I go, listen, if I'm in Ireland, I'm American. If I'm around you, I'm American. I don't go running around saying I'm Irish and I'm
Right.
But if I'm talking about personality traits,
Right.
guess what? Those followed across the ocean. You know what I mean?
Those don't rub off.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like Grandma Nyland came over and was all of a sudden like, I like apple pie. And no, it's, they still had the shit they liked over there.
Right,
and that goes down the line. I bring that up because I saw a clip of Colin Quinn and Tim Dillon talking about their Irish grandmothers. And they were both like, yeah, when you're raised Irish. And then all these Irish people in the comments are like, we're raised, you're American, get it right. But then some Irish people were like, you know what they fucking meant? Shut up, you cunt. Like, oh, sorry. I don't know. Has anyone ever said that word on this podcast?
No, you're the first.
I'm the first C word?
Yeah.
You can bleep it. Bleep it,
love
please.
it.
If you want to.
We
You don't
want a
have to if you don't
cunty
want to.
pod.
Yeah.
But that was the direct quote. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love that word over there. You know that, Kelly. You've been there a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, like in the UK and Ireland, that has a different valence.
Australia too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hung out with some Australian guys once, and they use it in every different context.
Yeah.
I heard them use it as an insult, a compliment, a noun, a verb. Like
hilarious.
every way you could use the word, they've used it there, and they just don't get why we don't like it. Anyhow, so with therapy and comedy, because comedy's so much about observations. You're making observations that other people really aren't making, and then you're going up there and trying to relate to the audience and try to let them in your world. For the most part, I'm pretty biographical on stage. I got into that early on because it's like you could never be accused of stealing jokes if you're talking about your own life and your own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some that are just completely, every now and then I'll throw out like a little 45-second Mitch Hedberg style one-liner. But for the most part, I like storytelling and things about my life. So yeah, I mean, the one therapist I had, I was seeing him for like a year, and I told him about how I was at a bar and these girls at this table where it was after a show. I'm hanging out with some comedians, and this girl goes, that jacket is so 2017. And this was like in 2022. And I was upset about that. I was like, 2017 was like a minute ago. How is this not in style anymore? You know what I mean? I got like, and he could tell I was getting revved up about it. He's like, man, I didn't know you were really that into fashion. I'm like, I'm not. I'm into people being wrong and putting it towards me.
Into correctness.
And then he said, I'll never forget this. He goes, I'm not really into fashion either. I guess I didn't get that part of the gay gene. And then I was like, I didn't know he was gay. I know, not that it matters. Of course, it doesn't matter at all. The advice is so great. I don't care. I've got tons of gay friends, but it made me laugh to myself, not to him, but later on that day, I was like, how did I not know that? Did he bring it up before? And then I'm like, well, I think next week we need to talk about how unaware of things I am. Like, that made me laugh right then and there, because then when I told the joke, I made it where it's like, is he saying he's gay? Or do we all have the gay gene, and that's where our fashion sense comes from? Like, where is he going with this? Like, I just had no idea that.
Yeah, it's almost a little cryptic, where it's sort of like if he had said like, "Well, as a gay man, like I'm stereotyped to like be into fashion. I'm not really into fashion."
Yeah, but he slid it in a way, and it just threw me off.
Yeah.
So
it's
yeah,
interesting.
you find humor in anything. I would do jokes about how I first realized I needed to go to therapy because my 2-year-old son told me to relax. I'd be like, I didn't even know he knew that word. Like, he was 2.
Yeah.
And so
my youngest, there was a phase where he would say to me, "Anger issues, Dad, anger issues," and I'd be like, that would actually make me certainly more angry, because I was like, oh God, like, and he's like, anger issues, because I would be like upset, or I'd be like, you got to do this or this and that. He'd be like, anger issues. So yeah, it's funny when your kids reflect something to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, buddy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just funny.
I did anger management, a separate thing. It was like a 6-week course with this guy in Lincolnwood.
Oh.
I thought I was getting something out of it. I think I was, but then Emma was born, and then my routine got thrown out the window. So
Yeah.
you need a routine for so much of things to
Yeah.
work.
Right.
I mean, he was all right, but the very first session, he was 20 minutes late, and that wrote itself.
On purpose?
And
That's what I speculated in my joke. I go, maybe he does this with all his first time
yeah,
clients.
right.
yeah.
Sees how revved up we're going to be, so how
What
much
came
work
up
he's
for
going to put
you
in.
there?
Yeah, because if he shows up 20 minutes late, and I'm very chill about it, he's probably thinking this guy's going to be a breeze.
Right there, that's a Rorschach. Arrive 20 minutes late to the first anger management session and see how people respond when you walk
see what
in.
pisses anyone off.
Yeah.
Wait, So this was the anger management guy, or this was the therapist?
This was the anger management guy. So I saw my therapist from like almost like 2021 to halfway through. I think I stopped seeing him like May of 2024.
Okay.
And then I started the anger management because I thought maybe if I just work on that specifically, I'll be okay. Because I wasn't getting anything out of the therapy before. At first I was. At first I liked him. At first it was like the things I felt like I needed in a lot of ways. You know, not beating myself up so much and other such things. Then when it started to get to a point where it was, again, you know, I'm not naming his names, but he was a wonderful guy, and I just think we kind of outran the course itself. I don't know.
Yeah, outgrew each other.
Yeah, I just lost on the word there.
I'm sure there's clients who feel that way about me.
I remember one time just telling him about something, and he was like, because I was like, you have to have a high Instagram account these days. You have to do this. And he's like, how many Instagram followers do you have? And I was like, I don't know, like 5,000. He's like, that's amazing. And I'm like, I know what you're doing, but like, it's not amazing comparatively in my community.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm thankful for them. But like, there was stuff like that he was trying to do the positive reinforcement thing, which is great. Sometimes you need that. But not when the person who's doing the positive reinforcement thing sounds like a grandparent who's sending you clippings of something where you're like, this is just isn't your world anymore. You're out of touch.
Well, you know what? Actually, it's funny you say that, because sometimes you and I, we've talked about this on the pod, where sometimes if I'm in a really bad place, like it really bothers me if someone doesn't recognize like this is bad. This isn't good. Like if someone tries to cheer me up, I just feel like they don't see me and they don't hear me. Like I'm suffering and I don't want to be pulled out of this. I want to be known in this and cared for in this.
Yeah.
And it's like, because at the end of the day, and this is like our whole podcast is premised on this. It's like you have the self within you that will eventually pull you out of that. So you don't need a therapist to do that. What you really need is to be like loved in that place, given the space to like move through it and be in pain. Like there is such value in like feeling like, your industry, you're the expert in that.
Right.
So if you look at it and you're like, I had a different goal for myself here and I'm here, you can feel pain about that, or even hopeless about that for a moment. I think that's totally fair. And, DBT is great for that, I would say.
Yeah.
I think it can be really great for like letting you be with the reality that's there and not escaping it.
That was part of when DBT was explained to me. I remember thinking, yes, I could use that. Because it's like people, like you were saying, where it's like they're not seeing you. I think it's, they're having good intentions. They get so consumed with, I need to make you feel better. I need to make you feel better. But it's like, you're not listening to me.
Right.
You're so in your head about how to make me feel better. But I need you to listen.
Yeah.
Like, and if you were actually took a step back, you would know I need you to not do anything right now, really.
Right.
Or just, be an ear or something. Yeah. So, so I stopped seeing him in April or May of 24. And then right around September, October, I felt myself not controlling my anger. I was getting way too quick again. So I was like, maybe I need something specific for that. And it was like a 6-week thing. And, it was good in some regards of like just recognizing certain things and, trying to create a routine. Cause I was looking at myself. I came up with this analogy. I don't want this therapist taking credit for it. I'm messing with both of you, but I had felt, this is how I really felt, like I was like a glass of water filled way too high. And so any little thing, now I'm spilling all over the place.
Yeah.
So I realized I have to do certain things to bring that water level down to where I could carry the glass around without worry. So that would be like, all right. So for a good stretch, it was helping. I was waking up in the morning. I was drinking water. I was reading. I was trying to journaling was helping for a while.
Yeah.
I was doing like all of these little checklist things to get a morning routine going so I could start my day from a place of feeling calm.
Yeah.
Instead of rolling out of bed, scrolling through social media apps that usually enrage me.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially this past weekend, man, was I triggered because I had nothing to do but wait around for, surgeons and all these people because you're in a hospital. There's nothing to do but waiting around.
And that's a high stress, distressing situation.
Yeah, because you're worried like crazy and you're worried about him and all that stuff. So all I was doing was going on, and the big march was over the weekend. So
right.
That is when, and I've mentioned this on the podcast before, that is probably when I feel the most helpless in myself, is when my kids have some sort of physical health issue. My youngest has asthma and he's been hospitalized for it and things. And those moments are like, I feel so, I can't do anything, almost paralyzed, because I'm so like just feeling like something is going to happen and I just have no control. And so then I feel like I can't move in any direction. And so those situations are so highly distressing to begin with. And then to think about looking at what's going on in the world, maybe I'll take a break from this situation. And then that doesn't, I would be in the same boat where that would just like tip me over the edge.
Yeah, you definitely feel, I agree. I feel like the most helpless in those situations. I actually got my, or had my fight or flight response extremely tested in early August, so a couple months ago. I don't know if you've heard about this. I took my sons to go visit my mom who lives in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And this was like on the Saturday, I think. She's part of like the neighborhood association. They have like their annual picnic at this park a couple blocks away. And it was a nice event to start. And nothing about the event was anyone who coordinated the event's fault. So it was just like a picnic and they had games for kids and stuff like that. And it was nice. I'm showing them how to play horseshoes. And all of a sudden this mom who's maybe 40 yards that way, she just starts screaming, "Run." And I turn around, I'm like, "Run." And then I look behind her, there's an SUV that's now driven into the park.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at a good speed. And then there's 3 squad cars behind the SUV. Their sirens are on. So I got my sons right next to me and I'm like, but which way do I run?
Yeah.
Because it's an SUV. Like if I ran this way, the thing could turn that way.
Oh my
So I'm kind of like
God.
still for a minute, but I'm holding them next to me. Then I look in the other direction and there's cop cars coming into the park. They're all swarming into this spot.
Oh my God.
Backstory is this guy stole a car like 7 miles in the other direction. So it wasn't like, again, I've told people like it wasn't the park's fault. Like, you know, that's just where it landed or it ended up. Guy had stolen a car and like threw a 7-year-old girl out of the car. It was a bad situation. So once I saw the cop cars coming from the other way, that's when the instincts kicked in. I took Matthew, my 8-year-old, put him underneath my arm like this, grabbed Dylan, put him underneath my arm like this, and I'm running full speed carrying both of them.
Oh my God.
Then shots fired. I dived to the ground and covered them both up because the guy came out with a gun and the police had to shoot back. So it was like it was a shootout.
Oh
It was insane.
my
Yeah.
God. That wouldn't even feel real.
It didn't. Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Jesus.
And a lot
Was
of people
anyone hurt?
Yeah. I was
the
just,
guy.
The guy. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't die though. But he took some bullets.
Jeez.
But to tell you what, in that moment, you become different in the sense where I don't hide my politics online. I used to be way more political. This is something I want to ask you guys in a second too. Sorry, this is getting jumbled. I used to be pretty political in my comedy when I was first coming up. Then as I started to headline and the way the world became, political comedy didn't feel like it was hitting anymore because, you know, we had 24-hour news networks in everyone's face. Facebook became a news source, which it isn't. Twitter. So it's like, all right, any joke I make at 8:00 at night, they're already sick of that topic because they've been on it all day long, right? Then you started to get that worry of like, oh man, I don't want people who liked my comedy then all of a sudden seeing my politics and be like, I'm not going to come see him next time he's in town. So I got a little bit cowardly with that. But then I feel like the more secure I feel with myself, the more I like myself, that's when I'm like, I'm going to talk about all this shit. And if you don't like it, too bad.
Right.
You know, I don't care if I lose you as a fan. For every one of you I lose, I'll find someone who I'm more like-minded with anyway.
Yeah.
So normally, you know, when you hear about police shootings and stuff like that, I've seen enough video evidence where I'm like, they are way out of control, a lot of them. In that moment, when it's your children, you're kind of like, shoot him in the fucking head. You know what I mean? Like, again, excuse my language, but it's just in that moment.
Yeah.
Cause you're just thinking like this psychopath driving through a park with crowded children, you know, you're just filled with like, I can't believe I had to experience that. I can't believe they had to experience that.
Right.
I took them to visit their grandma for a weekend, you know?
But that, and you, I mean, I know you know this, that's way different than someone that stole cigarettes.
Oh,
or,
well, yeah,
you know what I
course,
mean?
yeah.
Like where so much police brutality happens.
Yeah.
Your
exactly.
situation, I mean, it sounds like a violent.
No, yeah, he
incident.
they didn't kill him. He got shot. He's in jail for a long time. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I remember later thinking like, wow, I can't believe I was filled with that much like hate towards that guy. In
Yeah.
that moment.
Well, sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably pretty natural. I'd imagine most people would have been filled with that at that moment too.
Yeah, totally.
This was
Well,
a
that
Michael
guy,
Brown
if
situation,
he was in a
of course,
different
which is-
position, might have felt that. You know, if he were in your shoes
Sure.
at a different
Yeah.
moment.
But yeah, it was pretty terrifying. I have started talking about humor with bad stuff. I have started to make a joke about it, mainly because this woman, random person I hadn't met, but she was at the picnic thing. She came up to me and she's like, I saw what you did, the way you grabbed your sons and just carried them and ran. That was incredible. I'm like, oh, thanks. You know, I just instincts. And she's like, no, you're a great father. That was awesome. I'm like, oh, thank you. Do you think anyone filmed that by chance? I mean, no one
Could
took
I
out
get you to
their
write
phone.
that down?
People take out their phone for everything. No one took out their phone for this. I could really use the press. You know what I mean? I've had a review. So yeah, I've been doing that as a joke right now.
Use
Matthew
the
and
press,
Dylan
or even just when your kids are not listening, you're like, roll tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then-
playback.
That's me. Yep. Remember when I saved you both that day? Yeah.
you
That
don't
was
get
me.
ice cream, but you get the
Yeah,
braid still.
that was
Yeah,
me.
there.
We're still
Yeah.
here.
So clean your room.
That's so funny.
But then I say, yeah, great dad, terrible son. Forgot my mom was even there. I remember she came up being like, oh, yeah, how are you? Never came across my mind. But she didn't care, though. She's like, you saved my grandchildren. That's what matters most to me.
Yeah.
But it's not like again, the shooting was 50 yards. I ran far enough away where we were probably fine, but you don't know that when you're
don't
you
running.
never
that.
know.
You just don't know when you're
don't
running
Yeah.
like that.
Did you?
And they're in
after-
feelings therapy. They'd already been in it. So some of my friends were like, how are they going to adjust to this? I'm like, well, we already have a support system. You know, we already have them in place where they'll be okay.
Yeah,
And they've been
yeah.
good about it. They haven't been like, I'm never going to Iowa again.
Right. Okay.
Well, though that was one of my jokes too. I'm like, I can't wait to get back to Chicago where I feel safe.
Yeah, one murder capital to
Right.
the next. What was I gonna say? So in therapy, did you talk about that like in the weeks after, or did you feel like that was scary? And
Well, I wasn't in. No, I did. I did talk about that. That's right. I'm sorry. I thought I got confused. Need to sleep more. I haven't talked about that in DBT yet.
okay,
We haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah.
But I did talk about that when it was happening, or like when I was in CBT, the other therapy.
yeah, okay,
When I was still doing online. Yeah, it was good to talk about it. Positive reinforcement made me feel really good about that, where it's like,
yeah,
you know, my kids are that important to me. Like that just, it wasn't even a second thought about my own safety. It was like, where are they? How do I save them?
yeah.
I didn't,
Yeah, totally.
that was just, you know, because you don't have time to think in a situation
No.
like that.
Right. You know what's funny? We just watched that famous movie that's about this very thing called the Swedish movie. Or is it Swedish or it's Danish?
It's that director that also did that other movie.
The Dad Runs.
The Dad Runs.
Wait, what is it called? Force Majeure.
Yeah.
So basically this family's at this like ski lodge in, I think it's in Denmark. Have you heard of this movie?
No.
The family's like all like dining, like having breakfast in the morning. And they're looking and they're on, you know, it's like a really nice resort and they're like on the side of this, like the Alps, maybe it might be the Swiss Alps. And they're like, oh, wow, look at that. It looks like an avalanche and it kind of looks far away. And then all of a sudden people are like, wait, it's almost here. And it's like coming closer and closer and closer. And like a bunch of people get up. The dad runs from the table and the mom covers
Just like
the
by
children,
himself.
takes off.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And the mom covers the kids, but then it's really kind of a fake. It's just a little bit of dust that they thought was a real avalanche. And when it actually hit them, it's just for a second. It's kind of like there's snow and whatever, but everyone's fine. So then the dad just kind of like moseys back to the table and they don't speak of it. And then like throughout the movie, the wife is like so upset by this and she kind of is like disgusted with him and can't get over it. And they're like dealing with the fallout for the rest of the movie. It's interesting.
That
It's an
does sound
interesting
interesting.
concept.
Yeah.
It's also like the Seinfeld episode where there's a fire and
Yeah,
George pushes
Yeah.
everyone out of the
literally,
way.
it's
sure.
basically based on that.
For
He's
sure.
George Costanza this
Yeah,
time.
except they do a much more like unspoken version of it. I will say, to me, the movie dragged a little bit, but it's an interesting concept. You really liked it.
I was really liking it. We didn't end up finishing it.
Yeah.
Kelly was like, "We need to go to bed." Also, there was there was commercials every
Yeah.
7 minutes because we were watching it on what like Pluto or
It's like one of those where you
Pluto
don't
Nash.
really have a subscription, but they like let you watch it
Yeah.
anyway, like Tubi or
I've
something.
heard good things
Yeah.
about Pluto lately. Tubi apparently has like wild low budget movies that you'll watch and be like, that was amazing, but also so stupid. Like fun, like things like
Oh my
that.
God, I would love to watch that.
I have a friend, Erica, who she literally watches everything.
Wow.
I think her whole life is watching. She needs to have a movie podcast.
She really should have bad movie
Re-
podcast.
yeah.
Is that just like a
sees
web
everything.
browser? You just like go to the website and stream it from their website?
No, there's an app for
Could, or
Tubi.
there's
Oh,
maybe an
Yeah.
app
Okay.
You could
too.
download Tubi as an
Yeah.
app. I mean, they have some modern stuff too.
Nice.
I've flipped around Tubi once or twice. There was some movie like Better Off Dead with John Cusack. You ever see that?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I was trying to find that forever, and I think it was on Tubi. So I remember downloading the app and
Maybe
then
check that
watching
out.
that. And then as I was scrolling around, I'm like, oh, they've got like some pretty modern movies. They're like She's All That. They're like movies where you're like,
Great
oh yeah,
movie.
that was like the 7th highest grossing film of that year.
Yeah.
Like, that's like their
Right.
wheelhouse.
Right.
Movies
okay.
that you would know, but
yes, but forgettable a little bit.
but like HBO's like, you could have this.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I do
yeah.
think that's interesting, the concept of like when the shit hits the fan,
What happened?
what are people's reactions? here?
Yeah,
And
because you don't know.
you don't know.
what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and how meaningful is it? And I think that's what that family was grappling with.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the way you described it, I want to see
Yeah.
the dad come just back.
Yeah.
That's the scene I want to
it's
see.
pretty subtle. And then they just
Him-
start eating breakfast again,
Him just
and you're kind of
coming
like,
back into the.
and then it's like the wife is like pulling away and doing different things, and then she kind of starts uncontrollably laughing when they're like at dinner with another couple, and it's pretty great. Yeah.
Mm.
And the only recognizable actor in it is did either of you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes.
No.
You know the redheaded like wildling?
yeah,
He's in it.
he's in it.
I
Oh.
think he's Danish, maybe.
I know Jamie Tart is Danish.
Jamie Tart. Who's
Not
that?
Jamie Tart.
Jamie,
Jamie.
oh, that's
Jamie,
from. You
Lannister.
that's
just
from
referenced
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Yeah, Jamie
Jamie-
Tart. Love Jamie
Jamie
Tart.
I do too.
Lannister.
Jamie Lannister's Danish
Yes,
in real life.
that actor, yeah.
I thought that guy was Scottish, the big redheaded guy. Maybe he's not. I don't know.
Wait.
I know the Wildlings woman, that redhead, she married Jon Snow in
Yes,
real life.
she's Scottish.
She's Scottish. Her and
He's
Kit Harington.
Scandinavian, this guy.
That
I
makes
don't
sense. He
know
looks
if
like a
he's
Viking.
Danish. But yeah, it's like that
He's
Viking
he
look.
probably is.
But he was good in it. He's like, they're the couple, like they're their friends that are helping them try to figure out like what to feel about this. It's really interesting. But
I
yeah.
want to see it.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's a little, maybe we'll watch it for the pod again.
Yeah.
Sure,
Talk
yeah.
about it.
Time number 2.
Put the
Yeah.
title in the show notes for me.
yeah, totally. So you can see it. But yeah, okay. So tell me, like, maybe we'll round out our discussion on this with telling us what, like, let's say you worked with this therapist for like 6 months or a year. What would you want to happen at the end or be different at the end?
Number one for me would be just how to handle my emotions and not go 0 to 60 as quickly as I do.
Mm-hmm.
For the sake of just every relationship I've ever had, really, for the sake
Yeah.
of all of that. Because I've literally had friends told me that I have the worst temper they've ever seen. And that's
Wow.
not something you want, right?
Right, sure.
And like, again, it's okay to get mad. It's okay to get angry, of course. You know, I'm saying things you guys have probably told people a million times over. It's basically just a reaction to it, you know?
Yeah.
Also, as you get older, you feel anger and rage physically way more than you do when you're younger.
Mm.
That's the big thing I've noticed. Yeah, because that's the thing too. Like, I noticed now, you know, I think we were talking about some stuff a little bit before the podcast about Gen Z and shifting or using humor. I guess you guys talked about that in previous podcasts. I've noticed people, maybe it's a good thing on their end, they're setting boundaries. Sometimes it makes me a little sad because I feel like people are throwing away friendships over certain events. When I was growing up, if one of my friends was being a jerk and you got mad and people fought a little bit, like verbally, not physically, of course, 2 days later, the next day, you're fine. It's almost like it never happened. You went right back to it. I don't see that as much lately. Maybe that's a good thing again. Maybe people are setting boundaries where it's like, no, that behavior is not cool. Yeah, great. But then I'm also hearing stories. I've experienced it firsthand. I've also had other friends experience it where it's like, yeah, we were really good friends, and then we had a bad night, and now we don't talk anymore. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
really? Whole friendship gone like that? But it's usually people where it's like, we were only friends with it for like a year or so. I think the longer the friendship, the more you get leash on certain things because you've established yourself where it's like, oh yeah, this guy's defaults. Because I really do feel like I'm a silly person overall, and my default setting is to be happy and have fun and see the best in people. But then, switch flips and, there's that side that just it's really just no control. And then I feel bad. I feel horrible in that situation because I'm like, well, I just fucked up the evening. And then I like almost, it gets exponentially worse because then I get mad at myself because you can't unsay the things you just said or whatever. And then you just feel that compile.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I could get at 6 months from now, obviously it's not a cure. It'd be something I have to work on consistently. But where I'm at a place now where I'm more confident in handling that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That's what I would like.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. No, yeah, it's like being able to the dialectic, right? Being able to feel those feelings and have that like steel bar of like self that helps you decide like, what do I do with this? Like, is there a way to channel it that's value aligned, or, do I just like feel through it and digest it? Yeah, that's great. I love that. I think DBT can help with that. Definitely helped me in my life with that. Like being a DBT practitioner, like using it. I mean, the reason it was like the very first therapy I really used, and I felt like I loved it because I thought all the concepts resonated with me in my life, like radical acceptance and the wise mind and all that, definitely.
And I think the routines you're trying to build in, and this is, take this with a grain of salt, obviously, but that sets up a foundation for better emotional regulation for all of us.
Yeah.
Like setting up more of those base level things that we need, like sleeping, and making sure that what are we consuming and what is our, self-care look like? We will be more effective at regulating our emotions if we're taking care of those. And I think we do sometimes as therapists, to your point earlier, we overlook that because we just want to get in there and start doing other
surgery
stuff. Or somebody comes in and immediately is like, I have this thing I need to talk to you about.
Yeah.
And before we know it, we're off and running versus tell me just a little bit about your week. Like, how'd you sleep this week or what, because that stuff can be contributing to, I went from 0 to 60. Well, I only got 2 hours of sleep last night and and it's like, okay, well,
no wonder. Yeah. Totally.
Not that that's the cure all, but that stuff's certainly important.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's very, and when you have 2 hours of sleep and you lose control of your emotions around people that you love, and they then, are pissed off at you for it, you could say to them, oh, I was only at 2 hours of sleep. And it's like, I'm sure they care, but in that moment, they're like,
still have to manage.
You still have to manage.
That's true. That's totally
true. It's
true.
a reason, but it's not an excuse.
Right.
That's why I try to look at it the way.
And sometimes it's best to give the reason to yourself for that self-forgiveness. And then you have like better access to those skills because you're not also fighting yourself.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I had 2 hours of sleep. No wonder I'm like, that glass is full, Yeah. Well, I wonder, do you have any, as you have two therapists here, any questions for us on DBT or anything?
Well, just as a general, do you two have like a favorite client? Do you guys call them client, patient? You have a favorite like patient where you're like, you're like, ooh, my Wednesday 1 o'clock. Oh yeah, they got some good stories. I can't wait to find out. Oh yeah, they're. Let's see if this polyamorous thing is working still, or whatever. You know what I mean? Not to knock that, but it just felt like that'd be a juicy one.
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's hard for you to admit.
I think it's
Every
hard
comedian
to
thinks they're their
answer
favorite
for a
therapist.
lot of reasons. I think it's hard to answer because my mind went to some of the difficult clients that I work with end up being some of the ones that we do such enriching work that it is almost like not your favorite, but I look forward to those sessions because of either maybe the resistance they had to therapy and now we're in a different place, or how much they were struggling with some of the concepts and now there's more clarity. And so sometimes for me, I'm beating my head against the wall a little bit early on and I'm like, oh, what am I not doing? We're not getting anywhere. And so it feels like sometimes my knee-jerk reaction is, oh no, I'm working with that person because I feel like maybe I'm not doing something, but then it turns into like, oh, now I really look forward to like doing this because of like the changes. And what I will say is there's some people who come in and they're just really likable people.
Oh,
Like it's just
yeah.
like life. Like you have people come in that
Generous spirit. Yeah.
exactly, or they're just like naturally a funny person and they
Mhm.
just like, or they get it, or, you know, or they're so, even just people who are so honest and vulnerable, I find
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so moving.
that they're just, it's like, wow, that's what a breath of fresh. We don't even have to like go into like, you know, you're not really maybe tapping in there, or, you know, you're not like leading them in that direction because they're just almost like an open book.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I remember, like,
it's hard because
yeah.
it's like there's so many examples of it that come in different forms at different times. But certainly, I mean, I'm human. There's people that you just enjoy working with, and they're just
Totally.
like great people
Of
to work
course.
with.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I
Totally.
remember like when we would do group therapy together, I would always feel particularly moved when like certain clients would give really like thoughtful feedback to another client.
Yeah.
Really take the time to like be present with their story and like even sometimes give them hard feedback or whatever. I always found that so moving.
As I do also have a soft spot a little bit for like people who are and maybe it's because I'm getting older, but like people who are like over 80 who are coming to therapy.
Oh my God,
Oh,
love.
wow.
And I'm like, yeah, it's the work's never done. Like I have a soft spot
Totally.
for people who are still seeking out like, how could I be a better person in this world?
Yeah.
And I just threw out 80 as kind of like just a number, but like you've lived some life. Like you could teach me some things, and people that are still like seeking. But to your question about like, do you have like a favorite or something like that? And I don't know if it falls under the favorite category, but just like an inspiring, like, yeah, I kind of want to be that person. Like when I'm still working on myself.
Yes,
like
totally.
when I'm that age,
Still becoming.
I still want to be like trying to form a better life for myself. So that's always kind of like, wow, like I just think that's incredible. Somebody to be like, I still have work to do here on this earth, you know, like I haven't figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just something I was thinking about.
Totally. Yeah.
How do you like patients to start? Because sometimes I sit there and I'm like, do you want me to just go right into it?
Yeah.
Because she never like says, so what's on your mind? I just go into it.
Oh, wow. So she just sits. I'm always so curious how other therapists
people
start
do it,
sessions. Because I think, and this is probably my stuff, I always start. And I'm like, tell me what's on your mind. You know, or what are you noticing? If you check in with yourself, like I'll say that. And
She's
sometimes
probably
I'm like,
sensing that I'm a talker.
You don't end the session. Okay.
I know.
Have you ever noticed that about Kelly?
Yeah,
because
I say-
having shared an office with
Oh
her
my
and been
God.
friend with her for years, anytime she would enter an office space, it would always be like, okay.
Okay, all right, okay.
All
I'd say it
right.
6,000. Your mom, Josh's mom, she's like, I started saying it.
And then I started saying it.
Yeah, it's like between things I do too, I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to do this.
Right.
And it's like I have to like
And there's
narrate.
different, right? There's varying levels.
Yeah, oh,
of tone.
right.
So I just
My
figured
friend
you started
Kathleen.
your therapy session.
I know, you would think.
Okay.
Okay, all right, let's get started.
I love that. It's
yeah.
So great.
Oh my God. I fantasize
Shortly
about
followed by, I was listening to this podcast, and let me tell you what I heard on this podcast.
all the celeb
Because you just
gossip.
consume podcasts.
Yeah.
But
But
you go in, you start.
I do, and
Yeah.
I wish I fantasize about being the therapist who's just like sitting there and like letting someone talk. Like your therapist, it sounds great. I mean, it sounds like you got a great one.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
great so far.
Exciting.
3 for
Because
3.
then you really like don't guide it, and then whatever's organic will just kind of come out.
Right.
Yeah. I used to my old therapist, Melissa, who was wonderful. I saw her for many years. I would say, like, I didn't really prepare what I was going to say today. And she would go, good. Like she wanted it to just flow. And I'm like, oh, that's right. She
Yeah, 'cause
doesn't want me to prep it.
There are times where I'm thinking, all right, what do I want to get off my chest? Or what do I want to go into and things? But yeah, sometimes I could see it having a benefit of just let it come out.
Just go.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
My
Totally.
therapist certain times would, and this was in person more than on Zoom, but we would sit down and then it was just a very short prompt. Let's begin. And that was it. And it was on me to begin. It was kind of like, that was, I don't know, it wasn't explicitly said. It was just like, let's begin.
Let's begin. Oh,
And
I
then
love that.
That was it.
Maybe
And
I'll
then-
try all this stuff.
And
I'm
maybe
also
it's
going to
'cause-
steal
and
your
maybe it's
water
'cause I had
analogy.
stuff always to
Yeah.
talk about and want to process.
Yeah.
But I always took that as like, okay, that's the cue. You don't need to ask me anything else. It's just but this is
Yeah.
you're settled, I'm settled. Let's begin.
Let's begin.
I like that too. My comedian friend of mine, Roy Wood Jr., he would start sets by being like, let's start, and then just go.
Yeah,
I
and
love
I'm like,
that.
oh, God, I wish I could do that.
because it almost centers
Yeah.
people to like.
Because if I do, I'm stealing from him. We can't do that in comedy.
That would be so funny if a comedian went to the mic and just was like, let's begin.
Yeah, it would be. God.
It'd be so
Maybe I'll
funny.
try that. I don't think anyone does let's
In
begin.
that kind of,
it's
like,
close enough to
therapist
Roy's
voice.
let's start, you know?
Yeah.
This one comic, Alan Strickland Williams, funny dude. Because this is a lot of times comedians don't know what to start with. 'Cause you got
Yeah.
to start with something that lets you into the world. Right now, I'm fortunate enough to start with, and the day keeps changing. I'll say, as of today, I'm 231 days sober.
Wow.
And then it gets people clapping, and then I say, I still do lots of cocaine. But then, of course, it's a joke. I'm like, you got to have a vice. You can't be raw dogging life in 2025.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's the starts are hard because you can come up with a great joke, but if you lead off with it, it's not a lead off.
Right.
I try to tell young comics, I'm like, look, I can't teach you to be funny, but I could give you a little bit of tips on how to structure your act.
Yeah.
Because you want to build towards something. Like you could have the greatest joke in the world. If you start with it, it's a 3. If you end with it, it's a 10.
Right.
Because they get to know you a little bit. You establish your character, all that kind of thing. But with, I think I lost my train of thought here. Totally.
Starting.
Let's
Starting
begin.
a set. So Alan Strickland Williams, I always loved the way he started. He would say, my name's Alan Strickland Williams, and I'm going to tell you 11 jokes. Or like whatever the number was. It would change. The number would change. Sometimes.
Yeah.
That's how he
love
started his
that.
Conan set. He got booked on Conan, and he started with by
That's
saying,
great.
my name's Alan Strickland Williams.
Wow.
I'm
That's
going to
good.
tell you 11 jokes.
That's great.
And I don't even think he numbers them all. So sometimes as an audience, you're like, was it 11?
Was
Might have
that
been
11?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're counting them. Some like really pedantic person would like count them. Yeah.
I'm sure someone on the internet has counted.
Right.
It's the internet, right?
Totally,
There's
totally.
always someone for something.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we'll drift into our how wise is it?
How wise is it?
How wise is it to have a wedding hookup?
Wow.
Let's begin.
It's a good one. We've all been to lots of weddings. You're fresh off of one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, we have a cousin for the sake who hooked up with another one of our cousin's friends at a wedding. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I think so. We'll talk about it off air. I'm cool with it. I think it's wise. There's love in the air.
Love is in the air. Yeah.
That's true.
The circumstances are usually like, all right, we're all staying at this hotel. A lot of times hotels, and not all weddings, but a lot of weddings have a hotel that people go to afterwards, and there's hotel room parties. So I feel like it's, if ever there was a wise reason to
hook up.
to have a one night stand, I think a wedding is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
You're dressed up, all this kind of stuff, and it's kind of fun. I feel like it gives the people who are there something to talk about later.
Yeah.
Being like, did you see who did? And I would think, I don't think there was any flings or one night stands at my wedding. I don't know if there was any at yours, but like maybe if there was,
Almost.
if there was, it'd be a fun thing to talk about.
I mean, it's all we talked about.
Yeah.
We got married, which was wonderful, and we talked about our wedding a lot, but we spent a lot of time talking about, like, can you believe, like, I wonder if anything could happen in the future? Like, really thinking a lot about it. Yeah.
Oh, this is a little off topic, but I had a friend who recently hooked up with a woman after a funeral.
A funeral
met her a
hookup.
couple years-
How
Straight out
wise
of-
is
That's
it?
not
Wedding
Wedding Crashers.
Crashers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he had. Well, it was like the wake, and then there was the luncheon thing afterwards, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get every detail from him, but I said, I'm like, did you not know her at all? Because that's what I thought at first. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I met her a couple times, but I hadn't seen her in like 4 or 5 years. And I was
Okay.
like, oh,
Wow.
Was it like comforting for him, or was he able to name what he got?
They're never going to hear this. I could talk about it. Well, hopefully they will. This is a great podcast. Everyone should listen.
Yeah. We hopefully will get sued
Nobody's
by them.
ever going to hear this.
No, I just meant like, yeah, well.
Love it.
This is a no one. No, it's
He
okay.
listens to sports gambling podcasts,
Okay.
so I think, anyway.
I like that before you answer that your question is to go like very emotional. Like, was that comforting?
Yeah.
For him?
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. he
Which it
told-
might have been. I just love
Yeah,
that
yeah.
take on it.
Yeah. Well, there's a vulnerability, right?
For sure.
Yeah, totally.
He said that they were all back at her house because like a bunch of people were crashing there.
After
'Cause
party.
it was a funeral that a lot of people came in town for.
Okay. Got it.
And so she offered up her house. She's single, lives in a 3-bedroom by herself. So she's like, yeah, come by.
Wow, she's a catch.
Yeah. And he said, I go, well, how did it start? Like, were we flirting? He goes, not really. That's the weird thing.
Wow.
And I go, what happened? He's like, I asked what bedroom I'm staying in, and she's like, I'll show you. And it was hers.
Wow.
Oh my God, so slick.
It was slick.
Wow.
I said that was
You'll be
slick.
staying with
Yeah.
me. Yeah. Wow.
He said he wasn't quite ready for that because he didn't think that was where it was leading. So he said it threw him off at first.
Okay.
Yeah, but then obviously,
Then he was fine with it.
yeah, they're both happily willing participants.
Got
Yeah.
it.
I
Okay.
should say.
Oh, so interesting.
But he said at first he was just like, "Oh, whoa, okay, this is happening." Okay, you know,
Wow.
Now he's going to
And
funerals
you know,
every
that's
week.
almost
Not every
in
week.
some ways like if you
he's looking at
reverse-
obituaries in the newspaper.
He's like,
Yeah.
where's the
I gotta
next
get to another
church?
funeral.
Perfect.
But no, I think look, there's got to be somewhere where it's wise to have that one night thing.
Yeah.
Life is short. If the two people are hitting it off, maybe they were dancing at the wedding initially.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'd met in passing a time or two before and kind of had in the back of their head where it's like, oh, he's cute, she's cute, or they're cute. And that, you know, and then they're at the wedding and it's like, this is the chance.
Yeah.
You know, you live in Denver, I live in San Diego, let's go. Like, or whatever it is. So yes,
Right.
I say it's wise.
Totally. What do you think?
I think it's wise. Yeah. I mean, I think the idea of the energy, like you said, love is in the air. I think the energy of a wedding is very infectious.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it can be a place that I think people are maybe less inhibited in the sense of like even just dancing on the dance floor or like, you know, because they're around people they love and it's, you know, that type of thing. And so maybe you get to really connect with people because you're truly being yourself a little bit at these functions and you meet somebody and you hit it off and you're like, yeah, I'm feeling it because I'm really being myself here and this person's digging me because I'm really being myself.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you're most yourself if you're like at a wedding, like this wedding we were at, like we know Jesse, we know Megan. I like know Jesse's family a little bit, but they've always been in the Bay Area. So it's not like I see them a lot. And her friends from childhood are all in California. So it's like we were like kind of like strangers in some ways. And you do feel kind of free being that, like
Right.
you're almost most yourself because you're like, I can just
Yeah.
be as I am. I don't have to like perform it too much.
And I mean, it can be awkward, certainly, the next day. But I think maybe it's also wise because in the back of your mind, again, depending on the circumstances, it's like, I might never see this person again. I'll put up with the, you know,
People are looking their
awkwardness.
best at weddings.
Yeah.
Yes,
You're looking
that's
your
the
best.
other
You're dressed
thing.
well.
You're
Dressing
dolled up.
well.
Both parties involved are most likely wearing their best underwear.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because
True.
even as dudes, when I'm getting into a nice suit, I'm not wearing like laundry day underwear.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine when you were in a nice dress, you're going the same way.
To be honest, sometimes you're wearing like all this like shapewear underneath. Sometimes.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Because the way dresses are these days, like Josh and I faced this where I was like, I have this crazy thing underneath, but not always. You also could plan for that if you're single.
That's true.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right. The way dresses are, I was at a wedding not that long ago, and I remember looking at, I don't think the bridesmaids dance much because the way their dresses were, it looked like
So
they would have
tight.
ripped.
Yeah.
They just, none of them look
Oh,
comfortable.
totally.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Your
wedding
bridesmaids look
dress-
comfortable.
I didn't have any
think.
bridesmaids.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but
Well, who was sitting at your table? Those people?
Oh yeah, they just wore whatever. But I think everybody was comfortable.
But they had
what-
the flip flops, which worked out
The
well.
flip flops.
Well, you know,
yes.
I'm embarrassed to this. I walked in about 10 minutes into your ceremony. I came into the back. I was running a little late. Very
No,
sorry.
that's okay. We didn't even notice.
Oh my God, I forgot your wedding card again.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, you're good.
So I texted Kelly to be like, what's your address? I'll send it to you.
Don't you have a year?
Yeah, you have a
yeah,
whole
you have a
year.
year, but I always just want to get rid of it as soon as I can. Not
Yeah,
get
that
rid
makes
of,
sense.
but no,
Yeah,
I was cleaning
have it
up
off
after.
your mind.
I remember this was like probably 2 months after your wedding. I was cleaning out my car because I remember texting you maybe
Yeah.
3 months after. And underneath my seat, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, Oh, that's right. Because I remember being at the wedding being like,
It is
I
hard to
forgot where the
remember.
damn
Yeah.
card is.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was running late. So I got out of there, I parked and hauled ass. And the venue was fantastic. I love
great
the venue
venue.
you chose. And I
Great
like Bridgeport a lot. Bridgeport's I have a fondness for Bridgeport.
great.
Because I grew up going to day camps in Bridgeport because my dad worked for the park district at the Bridgeport parks.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, running late, I forgot it, but you'll laugh at this too. So when I texted you to get your address, I was like, cool. All right, got the address. And then I'm like, I don't have any stamps. And then I'm like, why can't they sell individual stamps?
Yeah.
And then I just got so overwhelmed by that. I'm like, you know what? I'm around that neighborhood enough. I'm going to slide it in stampless.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. And then I just forgot it. But I'll
No,
I'll
you're
just-
fine.
I'll
Don't
do it.
worry.
You're
We
going to
won't
see
even
stampless
think about
envelope coming up. Do you guys have a mail slot that's easy to put something into?
Oh no.
No, I didn't think so, actually. Now that I'm talking it out loud.
No.
That's
But you can
Just
buzz
throw it
Josh.
up here
Yeah, you
from
can buzz
over
it.
that
You can
parking
buzz
lot.
Josh.
Just
All right, I'll buzz you.
just tape it to a baseball and throw
Yes, toss it up here.
Toss
Oh,
it up.
that's
Yeah, you
fun.
can actually do that if you wanted. That'd be
Oh,
kind of
you guys
fun.
got a good balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell because the lighting. You
We're
know.
going to record out there sometime.
Yeah.
That's a dream.
Get the city noise. It'll be great.
What do you think, Josh, about
Yeah.
hookups, weddings?
It's wise.
Have you ever had a wedding hookup?
Let me think. No. So it's interesting because I feel like I've definitely been at weddings where I maybe was imagining it would happen.
Yeah.
You were actually the first person I ever hooked up with, Kelly.
I knew it.
Um,
First person you ever laid eyes on and
yeah.
felt love for.
But no, it's funny because I was initially gonna say, well, I feel like it's wise, but like don't get too set on it because I feel like you could kind of be like, I need this to happen, like this is
Yeah.
my night, and
Sure.
then like everyone kind of gets like taken, or there's like 2 single women and like 7 single
Yeah.
men, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work out, or like you get rejected, and it's like then you're like down all night.
Yeah.
But
That's a good point.
honestly, like I'm thinking back at all these experiences because I think the answer to that question, unless I like have amnesia, is no. And I never felt too bummed out. I think it would be like, oh, there's like cool people out there, and like
Yeah.
maybe it didn't
Yeah.
manifest, or like I was kind of flirting, and then I ended up just like hanging with my friends, or like.
yeah.
But I think I don't know. I think the spice is nice, and
Yeah.
Spice is
it's
nice.
wise.
The
Yeah, it's
spice is
wise.
nice.
The spice is nice.
Well, actually, it's funny because there were a couple single women at this wedding at our table. And I mean, great. All 3 or 4 of them are, to me, total catches, like so great. Just hadn't met their person yet. And they were talking about having been at different weddings where there would be like 4 single girls and 1 single guy. And I was like, oh my God, that's a movie script we
Yeah.
got to write. Like the whole night trying to figure out who's going to go for the guy or the reverse, right?
That's an
One
episode of
single
New Girl.
Oh,
You ever see New Girl?
Actually, they said that. Yes,
Yeah.
someone at the table said that it was an episode of New Girl.
Yeah, Jessica Biel was the guest star, and then that one dude whose name I always forget, but I like him. He was on Veep. He's really good in Veep. I can't remember his name. I know one of the main dudes, young, good-looking guy.
Okay. Dark hair.
Yeah, dark hair.
Yeah.
He's the single guy, and her and Jessica Biel are battling it out for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Jessica Biel plays it really well, like the way she like gives off her stats, where it's like, "There's no world in which you're a better option than me."
I love it.
She's like, "I work out 7 days a week. I have a master's degree from Harvard." Like she's going over like
It's
this
like, I'm
crazy thing. Where it's
toast.
like, okay, that person doesn't.
But
exist.
then at a wedding hookup, it's like, do you care about any
No.
of that?
I don't think anyone cares, yeah.
You want someone who's just like cool
Mhm.
and fun. I was set up at a wedding. So I think this sort of counts. And this was right before I met Josh.
Whoa, like day of.
No, it was like a couple months before. And my friend was basically just like, I'm going to set you two together and I'm out of it. Like what happens, happens, which I do think is the best way to set someone up, not like pressure it and constantly ask them all night. And she was the bride, so it's not like she was going to like be vigilant about this.
Did both parties know about this or just you?
So I think we both knew, I think.
Okay.
But like I could sense, I was like, oh, I think he might be like a little bit shy. And her wedding she had a beautiful wedding venue in New York. It was like in the middle of Manhattan, like on a rooftop. It was so gorgeous. But it was like the room was a little packed in, kind of like New York, like at a restaurant, you're sort of sitting closer to people. We were like, I was basically on his lap. It was like where I was like, oh my God. So I just was like, I guess I'm your dinner companion, like kind of like, I guess I'm going to break the ice. And from then on, we like kind of hung out the whole night. And it sort of worked out. We didn't have like a full-blown wedding hookup. But then the next day we spent together before our flights, which was really fun. And it's like, it wasn't for me in the end, but it was a very like, it's like a memorable thing where you're like, oh, I met that person. He lived in London and was just like in town. And it was like, oh, wow. Like this is like a chapter of my memoir, essentially. Like even like what you learn about yourself in this experience where you kind of like let go and like hang with a stranger all weekend and do different like New York touristy stuff. It was fun. So for that reason, I'm like, oh, I think it's very wise, especially because like, he was vetted. He was like a friend of the groom. I'm a friend of the bride. It's not like a total stranger that they could like be a wedding crasher or someone like a serial killer. So that part was nice. But yeah, it was like the precursor to my one and only Josh. And yeah, it was like a fun moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Warmed you up for the big leagues.
Real thing.
Yeah.
The big leagues.
Yeah.
It's also just wise from a spectator standpoint.
Totally.
So people just keep doing it because when you go to a wedding and you're not,
It's so
just
exciting.
great. It's great conversation for the next day too.
Oh,
I remember one time a friend had this epic story the next day about how they hooked up with somebody who was like on the wait staff. It wasn't even somebody who was invited to the wedding, and that was like that was great.
Incredible.
Or like a part, like you want to hear a story about like a band person in a band, like that would be great.
Oh my God, definitely.
So just for the
so fun,
the observation of it, it's great.
Yeah, we were like looking for the single men for these women at the wedding. Like we'll vet them out.
Right.
We'll see. We'll tell them about you. It was so fun.
I like
Yeah,
it.
because the couple, I mean, you love it, but they're a foregone conclusion. There's drama.
Exactly. And same with us.
Same with us.
So we have to live vicariously through these.
Right.
through
Well,
these
I also
others.
think it's a sign that your wedding was really fun.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes. You're so right.
Because I'll be honest, I've been to a lot of great weddings. If you told me right now, all right, cousin Brian's wedding, what would you eat? I can't tell you.
Right.
But I can tell you that the bridesmaid gave one of the drunkest maid of honor speeches of all time. Like, those are the moments.
The groomsmen.
Usually, but at that wedding specifically, Annette's friend.
Oh,
our
you
cousin
mean Brian Duffy? Oh, I thought you were talking
Duffy.
about Brian Kilgallen's wedding.
No, I couldn't make it to that. I
Oh,
was bummed by
okay.
that.
That was the worst speech.
Actually, I heard that was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to just like pry the mic out of his hands.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So those are the things you remember. And then you remember if someone hooked up, and you remember if someone
totally.
threw up and got too drunk. And
Right.
that's the kind of
Love
Yeah.
the stories.
I mean, because the meals and the dancing, that's all great. That adds up
Yeah.
to it. But
Yeah.
years later,
Yeah.
you're not going to remember if you got the chicken or the
you want
vegetarian
the
option or
story.
whatever.
Totally.
You want the story of
story.
Bobby and Jessica or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. I also think if like you were feeling a little bit hungover after the wedding, it's like if you're not feeling a little hungover, you didn't do it right.
Totally wise.
Unless you don't drink, which is fine.
Yeah.
But even then you could feel just like hungover from tiredness.
Exactly.
Hungover from joy.
I think I said I'm feeling no joy at the airport. We were looking at that Starbird chicken sandwich, and I was like, feeling no joy.
Yeah, you
Did you two like fly out for a honeymoon the next day?
No, this is the wedding.
Oh, the one you were just at. Oh, I thought we were talking about your wedding.
Yeah,
right?
no.
Yeah.
No, I felt
This
a
was
little.
just Sunday.
I felt a little joy the day after our wedding.
So
Yeah, I
much
hope
joy.
Yeah.
So much joy, but I've never been that tired in my entire life.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, exhausted.
It's a lot.
We went to dinner with Josh's mom, and I was like crawling to
yeah.
dinner.
That was the second Jewish wedding I've ever been to. I love the traditions with the.
Yeah, the horror.
Some
Yeah.
good
Thank
chair
you.
stuff.
So fun.
It's great.
This
So
wedding,
much
they
fun.
tried to get the horror going because my friend Jessie is Jewish, but she was too scared to go in the chair, so she just like ran from the dance
Yeah.
floor. So we just like went in a circle,
Mm-hmm.
A chairless horror.
a chairless horror. I was sad.
I've heard stories of people falling.
Yeah. Would you say someone was afraid to?
I
hold
feel
you?
like everyone was afraid to hold my hand. Yeah, except for
They were
you.
like, he's the only other Jewish guy here. He's gonna know how to do this, and we don't know what we're doing.
Exactly.
So they were shying from you.
Mhm.
I know. I was kind of like, is it on us to like get this going?
It was, and we failed.
We failed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Well. Yeah.
Next
Okay. Well, we've decided it's wise.
It's wise.
To have a wedding hookup. Okay. Well, that's our episode. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having me. I had a
coming
great
on.
time. It's wonderful
It was
talking to
so
both of you.
fun. We would totally have you back. Talk about
yeah.
how it's going down the line with
I
DBT.
would 100% come back for sure, of
Would
course.
love that.
Be
Okay.
weird- It'd be weird if I said, no, not for me.
It's really not.
You
At
both
least we
had an
know where we-
audition and failed, so
At
sorry.
least we know where we stand. Boundaries. It's an important part of the work.
But
This was
nah,
kind of a one-time thing.
honestly,
for
this
me.
sucked. See you at Thanksgiving. Peace.
Yeah. I'm never coming back on, but see you at the holidays.
Yeah.
Won't be awkward at all.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us where people can find
where
you.
plug.
Oh
where we can
yeah,
find you.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Those are the three I'm most active on. JoeKilGallon.com. I do have a website where I update shows and things like that, traveling around. So yeah, just pretty much my name. I luckily enough to get my name on everything. You'll find this funny. For Venmo, there's a dude I actually talked to, a really nice guy. Lives in Dublin, same name as me.
Oh my God.
And he had to change his Venmo to not the comedian.
Oh my
Because
God.
he kept getting my Venmos. Because I couldn't. Venmo's the one thing I couldn't get my name on. I'm Joseph on Venmo.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Joe
I've told people
Kilgallen, not the comedian.
I text Joseph when people go, "Hey, what's your Venmo?" But they just look up Joe instinctively, I think.
Sure.
Because everything else, I was able to get my name because being in comedy, we're so like, "What's the new app?" and get it right away.
Get
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not the only
Not
one
the
with this
comedian.
name. But yeah, I talked to him. He was really cool. And then he said, I'm changing my name to this. And then he did. And every now and then I'll have people send me a screenshot being like, this guy's cool, huh? And I'm like, I know.
Oh,
He was nice enough to
yeah.
actually send me the money that he got sent on accident.
Wow.
God, only someone in Ireland
Good lad.
would do that.
All right?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good dude.
It's incredible. Okay, John, where can we find you?
Email me, butz.jonathan@gmail.com. And yeah, email me about how wise is it?
Yeah.
Questions,
Topics,
or
questions.
even any previous ones. If you have any strong opinions, we always want to hear those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
You can text us now. I enabled that option. You can send us fan mail. I can't believe I didn't have that enabled.
Wow, what's the number?
It just appears on I know on Spotify, like there's a little link and it's like text us.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know. Check it out. I don't fully know how this works. I'm a professional
Yeah, you
producer.
tell us how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah. Let me look more into this and we'll talk about it next time. But,
Yeah.
it should be user friendly.
Okay, Josh, you want to give any plugs?
Plugs. Oh, I mean, yeah. I've been given music plugs now.
Yeah, give us
So I'm
one.
gonna, one. Sudan Archives. Really,
Oh, yeah.
really good. I've been thinking.
Josh.
I've been thinking all day about how I was going to describe this album, and I'm totally drawing a blank. It's like some Afrofuturist shit. It's if like FKA Twigs was fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Less
I love,
sad.
FKA Twigs is like probably number 7 on my list. This is like, just ranked it at number 2 today. It could fall, it could rise.
Yeah, Josh and I had to sit separately on the plane, and like the first contact we had with each other after a 4.5 hour flight, he's like, Sudan Archives, maybe number 1 on my year-end list. I was like, hi.
And you were like, I have a headache. Anyway,
That's so Josh.
joshbearfilms.com. You can find me there, and I'll edit stuff. I'll film stuff too.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm if you want to reach me, you can find me at kkpsychotherapy.com. I have a inquiry page there, so you can shoot me an inquiry, questions, if you want to work with me. Yeah. Thoughts about the pod. You want to be a guest on the pod. You can shoot your shot.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
And we'll thank Blanket Forts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for the
as
music.
always.
Yes. Thank you, Blanket Forts. And one day he'll be a guest, maybe. on the
Maybe.
I thought you said blanket farts.
That too.
I really
Blanket
thought
farts?
you said that
His
until
alt
you
title.
repeated blanket forts.
pod.
That's my favorite Blanket Forts joke.
Okay.
Maybe I did say it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Now I'm replaying it.
Yeah.
Blanket
Or maybe
Forts.
one of us said it. Blanket Forts. Okay.
We'll see you all next time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
The Wise Mind Happy Hour podcast is for entertainment purposes only, not to be treated as medical advice. If you are struggling with your mental health, please seek medical attention or counseling.